And we're live! Oh, sweet Moses in heaven, I have beer. And the
Very
Dutch have a
cool.
tank.
I know, the Dutch have a tank. This is very dangerous. You shouldn't give the windmill tilting clog bothers tanks.
Oh, hell no, I'd rather give it to them than the state. Screw that.
No, I was gonna
Give me
say-
all
no,
the farmers in the tanks. Just
My point
roll
is, I've seen
over
what
the
they've done
state.
on ice skates. I've seen what they've done on ice skates. They don't need a motorized, armored vehicle to do that kind of stuff. They can run around on skates and mess up the, freaking naval invasions.
Oh, good on the
So,
Dutch.
hello everybody. I will not be making fun of the Dutch today, as much as it is my proclivity
I wonder
to
why.
do so. It's mostly to bother you, but
Oh. I mean, like, why won't you mess with them today?
because today we are celebrating the great nation of Aquafresh and its based farmers fighting back against their corrupt government.
Yes,
So hello,
which is the
everybody.
Great Reset.
Yes, essentially, which we will be
Yes.
going over. Yeah, it's essentially Great Reset, WEF stuff. We'll go over the information on that. But there's been some crazy videos and things that have come out of it that I also think we can enjoy. And please, everybody, I would say, much as we did back earlier in the year with the Canadian truckers, send your energy to make for the spirit bomb to the Dutch farmers, because this actually is a huge deal. And it's amazing to see people standing up against a corrupt and totalitarian government.
Yeah.
I'm always on board with that. So,
I found it quite funny because we have, if you sort of looked at the previous, like, oh, look, it's a bunch of truckers, like, yay. And then this one's like, we're going to one-up you with a tank. It's like, okay.
well, it's the same issue, though, in that, you know, the truckers that they were seething and coping and shitting and pissing because that disrupted Canada's supply chain. So
Yeah.
the second that it starts to...
I always wondered why the Dutch was like very, very calm. I remember that Stephen Fry said years ago, like on an episode of Have I Got News for You, like, oh, liberal Holland, like, how are they so calm? It's because like 200 years ago, they sent all their maniacs to South Africa. And I'm looking at now like, no, they clearly still have that gene in them. Getting a freaking
Clearly.
tank is pretty base. Well done, Dutchies. Starting to see where I might get the suck from.
Very good. I think it's awesome.
Impressed, yes.
And yes, I'm very impressed by it, and happy to again see people fighting back. So the TLDR, there's no reason to really bring up this article because it is just the TLDR, is that the World Economic Forum controlled Dutch government and announced
They're
last
not very
week.
subtle about it, are they?
No, this is from Countersignal. It's the one you.
Oh, there we
posted,
go, yeah.
It's only like 3 lines, so there's no real reason to bring up the website unless you
I'm
want.
still
And this
gonna
is
do it
their
anyway.
spin, though. All right. So the World Economic Forum-controlled Dutch government announced last week an end to modern farming, putting harsh controls on nitrogen and spelling the end to thousands of family farms. Another thing to keep in mind as we go forward and understanding all of this, guys, is that the second largest producer of food in the world is Netherlands after the United States. So,
Oh, really?
yeah, you didn't know that?
Okay, I know it was one of the top ones in Europe.
It's number 2 globally.
Okay.
A ton of food. I mean, again, after the United States, a lot of the world's food and most of Europe's food comes from the Netherlands. So
I know our
when you
chicken
say-
comes from there because I remember going to the butcher like a couple of days ago and I saw the price and I went, €37. Fucking hell. I used to pay 25,
For how
26.
For a
For
whole
25.
For what?
For-
For a whole chicken?
No, for 25 chicken bread. For a whole chicken, Jesus fucking Christ. What a chicken made of, like fucking gold?
No, I wouldn't think it's like a whole chicken. That's like
Yeah.
a pound here.
Yeah, no.
Okay.
No, it was,
You may not
it was
make it as
25
big.
chicken breasts. It's about
No,
200
that's a-
grams. But that's still a 50%
chicken.
increase in price. It's just fucking holy crap.
Yeah, it's a lot of. Well, yeah, we'll go over it too. All the prices are going up around the world, and they were going up anyway. And then this is going to, of course,
Further exacerbate the
increase
problems.
price. Yeah. In response, Dutch farmers took a page out of the Canadian Freedom Convoy playbook. They took to the highways, blockaded borders, and launched massive protests. So far, the global media has vilified the farmers, brushing aside their concerns with the New World Order style policy and propagating government lines. Farmers are worried this will is one step closer to a global food crisis and total government control of the food supply. So that's the TLDR from Countersignal. Again, it's a real short little overview there. I have another article, though, that goes into a little bit more detail from DW Deutschwelle. So it's still not too long, though. Dutch
That's the one I just
farmers...
had up now.
Yeah, Dutch farmers block food distribution centers over new environmental rules. Farmers in the Netherlands reacted angrily to a proposal by lawmakers, including a plan to shut down some cattle farms. It's more than just some. to tackle harmful nitrogen emissions. It's a ton.
Does anyone remember how it was the CO2, and now it's nitrogen, which is like most of the freaking atmosphere?
Yeah. Also, Daylead Murphy for 2. Hey, thanks, man. Says Daredevil is not Aiden Paladin. That is true. Thank you. Dutch farmers angry at government plans to slash emissions use tractors and trucks to blockade supermarket distribution centers on Monday, and it is glorious. We're going to look at some videos in a moment here. Fishermen also blocked some ports in a show of support for the farmers. Their actions were part of ongoing protests against a government proposal to slash emissions of pollutants like nitrogen oxide and ammonia by 50% by 2030. Again, we're already having problems with the food supply and with inflation massively raising the cost of food. If they go through with this, if people are upset now that they don't have food on their shelves and it costs too much, you're going to be really upset by 2030 when your food costs exponentially more than it does right now. It's all this delayed responsibility crap that I can't stand, right?
Who cares, Ada? We're not going to own anything. We're not going to have a world of money.
I know, and we'll be happy. But that's the thing, is that people are like, well, I can't get my, I don't know, soy latte right this second because it's being blockaded. And so I'm angry at the Dutch farmers. There's so many people I see saying that kind of stuff of they're getting irrationally angry at the farmers when they should be angry at the government.
There we go.
Okay. Sorry. Spoon's OBS always crashes.
I don't know why OBS is so gay.
I never have this problem.
Yeah, it's just kind of weird, though.
So, but again, when I move in a couple months, we should have over here, hardwired internet, and then I can take the.
It's not my internet problem. It's the OBS.
No, it's not internet.
Yeah,
I know, but I'm saying
my internet is like 600 meg. It's great.
That's what I'm saying. But if I get better internet than because I've never had this problem with OBS. OBS is shit, but
it's only because of the recent update though. Because before I never had any problems. Yeah.
It's been going on for a while.
Yeah, but, damn OBS.
Whatever, we'll figure it out. Thanks for sticking around, guys. Though, where were we? Okay. Oh, provincial governments. Yeah. Oh, right, the carbon dioxide thing. Sure.
Yeah. Yeah, because I remember watching Jordan Peterson talk to. I can't remember who he spoke to now.
We're gonna talk about Jordan Peterson tonight.
Yeah, as well. It's because he said that if you looked at like the environment, because he used to work with the UN for a while, and he looked at all the data from the CO2, and he just said the main thing is that no one talks about, and I agree with him on this, is that more CO2 in the atmosphere, that there's areas that would never plants would grow, now grow. Because there's CO2 in the atmosphere that would actually make the plants grow. Because it turns out if you put CO2 in areas where there wasn't before, shit grows. Because that's what they need to grow. Wow, shocker. And no one ever says, hey, look, you know what? Do you know what happens when the world gets maybe warmer? Things grow. Land is arable. And you might be able to feed people with crops that areas didn't grow crops before. Oh, what a terrible idea. Now you look at this shit like, oh yeah, that'd be the reason why. Because they don't want plants to grow. Because they want to... This is my conspiracy theory. I don't think... Because Stick says they want to turn it into places where people can live. I don't think it's that. I think it's they deliberately want to kill people. I deliberately think this is a culling. It is not some bullshit of like, oh, look, we need more people. No, they deliberately want to depopulate the world. That is their goal. I don't believe for 1 second this is to get more people. No, this is to actively kill people. Conspiracy theory I might be, but that's my take on it. What did Aiden do now? Aiden, why did your internet drop? And I'm just mocking her, by the way. She can't hear us. Oh, look, my now Aiden's computer crashed. Isn't it a coincidence? My OBS crashes, and then her internet crashes.
It wasn't my internet. My computer was fucked up. I'm back, though. I don't know what happened.
Mm-hmm, totally. It's not a coincidence.
I have no idea.
Yeah, I crashed than you.
It's just...
You can have dinos again.
Constant boomer fucking...
We already have giant insects, robot. It's called the World Economic Forum.
Yeah, true. Anywho.
They're parasites.
Yes, they are. They absolutely are parasites.
Led by a fucking German.
Did you read any more of the article? Well, I was temporarily...
I did not. I waited for you because I'm just that much of a gentleman.
Thank you. So how serious is the crisis? Nitrous oxide, nitrous oxygen plays a significant role in air pollution, and nitrous oxide contributes more to the greenhouse gas effect than CO2. So, see, we're not supposed to worry about CO2 anymore. It's nitrous oxide.
Yeah,
nitrogen
because
oxide.
probably because the
Can't
carbon
say it.
dioxide doesn't really do anything.
Getting in other things. Apparently not.
Oh yeah, I do remember the 90s being the global cooling thing. I remember that.
Yeah.
Even as a kid, I
Thank
still
you,
remember
Slayer
that.
P3. Well, right,
Yeah.
right. That was because they don't know anything about this. I've talked about this before, and also Jordan Peterson has spoken about as well. I think so. Was it Jordan Peterson or was it?
Probably Jordan Peterson. Yeah.
It was Jordan Peterson. I think on Rogan, right? Was it?
I think it was,
or was
on.
It Brett Weinstein?
No,
who talked about
I can't remember who it
the
was.
entire absurdity of the global warming thing. In that, not that global warming as an idea is an absurdity. It's a natural process of the heating and cooling cycles that the Earth goes through. It goes through these cycles every couple of tens of thousands of years.
I don't even know if it was on Rogan. It probably was.
I think it was. I can't remember now who was talking about it. I thought it was. It was
either him or Dave Rubin. It was definitely Jordan Peterson. I just can't remember who it was on.
Yeah. I thought it was. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is that
I want to see him on Lex Friedman.
The number of variables that exist when you're trying to calculate what contributes what amount to global warming, and by that I mean that the heating of the Earth, which we are still coming out of an ice age. There was a mini ice age in the 1800s. We're coming out of that, right? So the world will heat up as it is always want to do in cycles. At the same time, yeah, there is some probable. I mean, I think just logically we can say that there's been some contribution of man-made CO2 output to this natural process, but the degree to which is pretty much impossible to calculate because once you start putting more and more variables into a system, you have a problem of diminishing returns statistically. So you're expending more and more variance as your R squared, that's variance accounted for, as your R squared goes up, your statistical significance, your p-value, is going to also go up, but that's a bad thing. It means that you're not really able to determine the statistical significance of any one variable within that system and particularly when you're doing multiple level modeling. This is like regression modeling. Then the more things you put into the system, your variance accounted for will go up, but the predictive capacity of that model becomes moot because now you've thrown the whole thing in. So this
is now where Aiden goes into autism mode, by the way.
I'm almost done. The problem is that it's really, really difficult to do this kind of modeling to be able to determine the exact amount that human-created carbon emissions is influencing the global climate change that happens naturally. To be able to isolate that variable is statistically pretty much impossible. They've tried to do it. They can't do it. That's the problem. So that's the TLDR of the math behind the global warming stuff and why I get irritated by it. Because I'm like, no, you're doing bad math. Please just do good math. Because when I see you mess around with statistics, lies, damn lies, and statistics.
Oh, I didn't say I dislike
I don't
Aiden's
like it.
autism mode. I just when she goes like beyond my spectrum, then I kind of have to dial it down a bit and have to really concentrate. But someone asked, could I elaborate, please? If there's certain areas that would be elevated above what they would normally grow, but there's more places overall that get their temperatures elevated to the place where they can grow, you have more growth overall. That's kind of what I mean by that. Like if you have places A grows a specific temperature, if it goes higher, it might not produce as much crops. But if I have places B, C, D, E, and F, that if they raise their temperatures, they would be able to grow more. Overall, I would have more growth of food than just A. If I can explain it like that.
Also, Dear Fitty for 5 says, ice can't support life. Liquid water can. Makes you wonder why they don't want the ice to melt. Well, there's a lot of reasons they don't want the ice to melt. Major one is sea level.
Yeah. That's a good point that Keebler writes, by the way. Because I remember Thomas Sowell had this line where it just says, would you bet your paycheck on the weather report for the next 3 days?
No, I certainly wouldn't.
No, exactly. So how the hell are you going to spend billions of dollars on something that you predict like 10 years down the line? That makes no sense.
Well, individual meteorological analyses are really spurious. Yeah, it's I mean, it's a little bit
snarky, but yeah. But the point still stands.
The problem is that to be able to make that kind of predictive, this will happen in 10 years, this will happen in 20 years. You'd have to understand every variable and the exact amount of variance that it adds into the system. And so what would happen if you removed, let's say, or reduced that variable, let's say human produced carbon emissions, and you can't do that. Zion for $2 says morpeds are the most oppressed minority.
Maybe by the corporation. The corporations openly just said, hey, look, people are watching us again. We should re-release this movie. And it's like, dude, you don't understand trolling.
the Morbius meme. I'm kind of sad it's over, but it was a really glorious moment in time. The Morbius.
How do you have a PR team and you can't tell you're being trolled? That to me is insane.
I don't know. They're so disconnected. They're coastal elitists, or the Hollywood elitists.
Yeah, but do you not? Okay, do you not understand what? Okay, I was about to say, do you not understand what humor is? Like, yeah, they don't. So that may be the
no.
That may be, oh my god, I just realized something. They don't know what humor is.
I don't think so. No.
No, just realize how terrifying that is. Like these people, these PR team that don't know what humor is. That's generally quite scary.
You haven't noticed this? Like, the fact that the Democrats haven't been able to comprehend memes. And they had whole teams. The DNC had like a meme team to try and fight back against the popularity of the
and they come up with ultra manga.
I don't know.
Which the right went like, oh my god, that's great, let's make merch. And then they did.
That ultra manga thing, a think tank came up with that.
Yeah. And the think tank was overwhelmingly women. That's not a surprise it couldn't be funny.
Of course.
No offense.
Well, in order to be funny, I've often cited this study. Although I don't have the citation, I always forget the citation on it. But the basic finding of it was they were looking at like when are tweets funny when regarding a natural disaster, and they found that there's a real sweet spot for humor where it has to be a little bit offensive. That if you're tweeting about this hurricane that was going to and then did cause huge millions and millions of dollars of damage, it's funny. Beforehand, it's really funny, like right before it happens.
Let California sing. 100% agreed.
Jarnicki pretend like California sing.
Hell yeah.
We have a California little segment here to touch
on
some of the things that come. It's real brief.
Is it because of the thing they said about Ron DeSantis? Because that's fucking hilarious.
What did he say about Ron DeSantis? I didn't even have that. But yeah, I'll put it in real quick because I forgot about that.
That's so freaking good. Like Gavin Newsom coming out and saying, "Oh, Florida's the oppressive state." Is like, are you smoking shit?
It's not just that he's running ads in Florida. Did you not know about that? Yeah, Newsom is running ads in Florida.
Oh, good God, why?
Excuse me, Gavin, are you running for office in California? Or in Florida? We'll play it. We'll play it.
I don't know how that's gonna work, but that's
do I have just the plain fucking ad and not have to? Oh, I hate this when I'm trying to find the ad. And it's just like a bunch of people talking about it. There it is. Okay, I got it. So we'll do that in a minute. But oh my god.
I remember. I think it was Christopher Hitchens who said that. I think if you type it on YouTube, you could probably still watch it. I think it was an article he did for Vanity Fair, where he just said women aren't funny, and I think he made the case that being humorous requires a penis because it is a trait for courting women, being funny. So it
serves no evolutionary purpose in women.
Yes, where it does for men. So there is a need for men to, a need, but being funty does
well, does
go along
with women. You have
some
value that you can entertain. You're witty. The ability to be funny is a sign of intelligence. So
there we go. He's running ads in Florida to get people to move back to Cali. If you have to get people to move back to California, that tells you they left California to begin with. Why are you trying to get them back?
I know. It is truly fascinating. Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute here.
What the hell are you doing?
It was so much fun stuff today. This has been a fun week. Some weeks are really depressing.
Why?
This one's been
Have you ever actually seen him talk?
There's some depressing shit too. Newsom?
Yes.
Yeah.
He looks like he's completely detached from. You know that, like, how can I describe it? He reminds me of Michael Douglas in Wall Street. he's Gordon Gekko, but with less charisma, because he looks plastic.
Yeah.
Like, you look at him and, like, you are like an evil corporate asshole.
Oh, for sure. Also, Neon Suspenders, we're going to get to what you
just
said there.
You could totally picture him in that. And it would suit him.
100%.
Because you look like an asshole.
He does look like, and he sounds like one too. While other sectors, including construction, have also been hit, measures to curb the ammonia generated by livestock farming constitute a significant part of the Netherlands' plans. According to the government's own figures, the plan to cut nitrogen emissions by more than 70% in areas close to nature conservation areas could lead to the shutting down of about 30% of livestock farms. Remember,
that's insane.
Second largest producer of food in the world. Farmers vowed to continue protest action. Farmers were calling for the entire country to be paralyzed and vowed to continue protesting. The government has appointed an intermediary to lead talks between farmers, organizations, and officials drawing up pollution reduction measures. However, Prime Minister Mark Rutte has ruled out. Is that right?
Yeah.
R-U-T-T-E. Good.
Yes.
I'm
Well
learning. It's ruled out negotiation with farmers.
You get to speak Dutch right soon.
No, please God, no. Responsible for
like
radical
languages.
protests. I do like languages, and
There you go.
actually, it probably wouldn't be that difficult. I mean, like
It's because Aiden is half gay.
I'm saying in the big scheme of like how difficult it is to learn a language, I think it's probably easy for English speakers to learn Dutch because it's got a shit ton of cognates.
Someone said, "Don't insult the great Gordon Gekko that way." It's probably more a compliment to Newsom, to be honest, rather than an insult to Gordon Gekko. Yeah, because Gordon Gekko had a certain kind of swagger about him. He was also ruthless and profit-seeking. I much prefer the English guy, whose name currently escapes me, because he was pissing off Gordon Gekko, and that was always funny.
Oh, yeah. Even though I have some videos, I do want to look at this first, because this is very interesting.
This is Dutch. How am I supposed to read that?
My Google Translate.
Nederland is één wereldje, is one world city.
I can read it.
Duurzame megacity te wereld. Oh, megacities. Oh, that's not a good fucking...
So here's the interesting thing, is that at the same time that they're trying to, well, specifically...
oh, yeah, you showed me this.
Oh, it's not that... Don't do that one yet, because it's actually this. This is also in Dutch, but I have it translated here.
Yes, it's not like I can half-assed read it.
The thing that they're doing here is that the purchase of nitrogen space in the Noordoostpolder, the province of Flevoland, has been given the opportunity to purchase. Thank you, and that's why I knew that's. Thank you. That's why you're here.
Yes, to translate the. I read this and in my mind, my Afrikaans is looking at this, going, "Why is this overly complicated and has so many more unnecessary letters?" There's Afrikaans that read this and go, "This is so much simpler. These people have J's and Z's and like, why? This is why Afrikaans is better, because it's simplified. It has none of these. Like these bastards are just trying to cheat at Scrabble. That's what they're trying to do. When you have Z's and your J's, you bunch of bastards. No offense.
There's really no reason to read this. Also, the translation's not good. But the fact of the matter is that they're using this nitrogen policy to buy up all of this land.
Yeah, of course.
So that's what's happening here. That's why the farmers are mad. Not only are they saying that you're not going to be able to farm and you're not going to be able to raise cattle anymore because we're going to basically make it illegal. You're going to be forced to shut down this industry. Well, when the farmers are no longer able to use the land, the government is now buying it.
That's an interesting point. So Janika just had construction been hit. My area has been crippled with several lack of materials. Pretty sure a lot of my competitors just left the rat race.
I have no idea, Jarnegi. But everything's hit right now. I think every sector is struggling with the supply chain issues that are still COVID's fault for some reason.
Yeah.
Until we find a new scapegoat. Oh, excuse me, it's not COVID anymore. Now it's Russia. I forgot. It is Russia's fault now for the ongoing issues. Sorry though, if you go back to that
people are going to end up. Do you realize people are going to end up moving to Russia?
Maybe.
Because Russia's going to have all of their shit together, none of this global homo, I almost said the F word crap, and they're just going to be like, yeah, we're not going to take part of this shit, and we're just going to do our own kind of civilization state. Fuck you. And now I'll think about it. Like, would I like to live under a bunch of faceless bureaucrats, or one bureaucrat that I can very, very much see, called Putin?
I mean, it's a question.
Like an uber Christian guy versus the global homos. Give me Putin, to be honest.
Yeah. So if you would pull that website up again, the Tri-State City website.
Hold on.
You'll see that even though it scrolls by, you'll see it has the WEF Sustainable Development Goals flashing by here. No poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation. Affordable and clean energy. Yeah. Decent work and economic growth. Decent work, okay? Industry, innovation, and infrastructure. Reduced... Who knows? Exactly. Reduced... Well, you'll own nothing. You'll own nothing and be happy. Pushing your buttons and eating the bugs. Live in a pod and eat bugs, yeah. Mm. I mean, well, it seems to me. It seems to me that there's a lot of I see this in a lot of Zoomers and younger people too. Oh, hey, Bill, would you mind if you could hit the light? Yeah, thank you. Bill stopped by to bring me some ice, but it's also getting dark in here.
There we go.
Which is very very kindly of Bill to bring me ice. So I hear a lot of like young people. They just don't want to work. I made a video about this maybe about a year ago. It was called "Nobody Wants to Work Anymore" because there was this huge swath that was happening all over the country of all these stores and restaurants, fast food in particular, that were putting up signs that that said nobody wants to work here. We don't have any workers. Nobody wants to work. And I understand not wanting to work at a fast food place for minimum wage. I completely understand. But I do think I've seen this more and more people saying this is that they don't want to work at all. They don't want to. V was talking about this earlier when we were listening to V talk about it, the transhumanism stuff, and he was saying, like, what do you want? You want to just be able to like upload knowledge into your head? Then where's your sense of accomplishment? There are a lot of people who I think actually find that appealing. They don't want to work for anything.
Boring.
It's not just boring. To me, it's incomprehensible.
It's also suicidal. You do realize you would drive yourself insane if you did that.
Well, they've done these experiments on rats, right?
OBS, why are you so gay? Seriously. Crushing motherfucker.
I don't get it. I've never had that problem with OBS.
Yeah, I don't know why it's... I wonder if there's an... let me see if there's an OBS update. Let me see here.
We don't do that right now.
No, I'm not going to do it now, but I want to see...
Okay.
Is there an OBS update? Is there an OBS update? Yes.
Yeah, just download it after the stream.
Yeah. 22nd. Oh.
Let me know when you're back. Oh, I think we are back. All right.
So it's your OBS software failing, yeah.
I don't know what's going on with OBS, but
it's really shy. I don't know why.
Anywho.
Yeah, OBS, could you please stop being gay and actually function for once? I would greatly appreciate it, you bunch of whiny bastards.
We are called Broken Crown for a reason. It's nothing to do with monarchy. It's just because we always
because OBS is gay.
For shit to be broke. Anywho, so the whole thing is that the rats, they wouldn't even eat. They wouldn't have sex. They wouldn't do anything. They just sit there and press the pleasure button all the time, over and over. Also, Kizza for 5 says, sorry I'm late, but your emperor has blessed the stream. Take care all. Hey, thank you, Kizza. And for another 5 says, why would people work when you get paid more for sitting on your ass faking a mental illness?
Yeah, it's true.
Well, why? Because there is fulfillment. I don't want to say I'll rock might free or whatever, but I can't.
Wait, why is this on the stream? German. Sorry.
But it depends on what you're doing for work. Flipping burgers, that's not fulfillment. You know what I mean? Like you're
it depends how much faith you put in your burgers.
Maybe. Well, maybe if that's your real passion, you're running your own burgers.
Because I meant like, because I imagine
maybe it is.
Like, because those people who make like 16 patty burgers, like I look at that like I kind of want to do that because there's like an art to just making like extravagantly, excessively decadent food. Like there's a bit of me that goes, I still want to do that. That just looks fun to do. It just looks fun to make.
Like salt-based shit.
Yeah, it just looks like, god damn, that's like a work of art. It's just a monstrous decadence to excessive food consumption. And
it's also just extremely overpriced. They put gold leaf on a T-bone and charge you $1,000 for it.
Someone said I could do. Arden said I could probably do a good Churchill. Yeah, I probably could actually.
Yeah, probably.
We should fight them on the beaches.
You gotta find stuff. The point is, you gotta find stuff that makes you fulfilled. And I think sitting around on your ass playing video games all day, sitting around playing.
How have you never done a video on Churchill, by the way, considering you're drinking?
Good question.
Like, have you guys ever looked at how much Churchill drank and smoked? Oh my god, how he lived till 90 is like a medical. Like, miracle.
I don't know if it's is it medical miracle or are these?
Dude,
are
he
bad
used to
things
drink
bad?
Jack Daniels for breakfast. Well, not Jack Daniels.
I know.
He used to drink
Please.
Johnny Walker Black Label and water.
Yeah.
That to level, I think was the word he looked. Like he used to drink like.
What a madman.
He used to drink like I think like half a liter of Jack Daniels or not Jack Daniels. Johnny
Look,
Walker
alcohol
Red.
is humanity's friend. Okay.
Not the way he was drinking.
Probably not.
Hold on, let me see. Let me see if you talk about that. I want to see if I can just find the list because his daily alcohol intake was phenomenal.
Would you pull the tri-state city thingy back up so I can just show?
Yeah, hold on.
We're almost done with this. If you just scroll down to the bottom, do you see what it says there?
It
says
organische gegrote groene.
Okay, that means P.S. This model has no underlined bold font relationship whatsoever with the nitrogen policy of the Dutch government! Exclamation point.
Which is such
isn't
bullshit.
that interesting? Look, if you want people to not suspect that your giant land grab project of which you're trying to build a new megalopolis on top of while you're buying all this land is not related to the green policy that you've implemented in order to allow you to buy this land cheaply, then just don't mention it at all. Because this makes you look guilty as fuck, okay?
But that is totally what they want to do.
I know. It's not. I don't think it's okay. I don't think that's exactly a conspiracy theory. I know they said it doesn't. It doesn't have anything to do with it. But that makes me more suspicious that he said it doesn't. This is the last article I have. Is this in Dutch or is this in English? No, it's in English, isn't it? Yeah, it's in English. I'm not gonna. This is long as hell. I just wanted to tell you a little bit about the city of the future. Apeldoorn hands on residents to data collector. So this is the Apeldoorn has been selected by the WEF World Economic Forum as one of more than 30 global cities. So this will be part of the megalopolis to participate in the WEF's Smart City project. And the cities won't let grass grow over it. An Austrian company is currently installing 500 so-called multi-points, also known as the white boxes. It's not yet clear what exactly these boxes will do. Not all residents are equally happy with the white spies on their doorstep.
Yeah, that's not creepy at all. That's a straight-up surveillance state.
Yes. An article on the WEF website. Okay, so Apeldoorn gets white boxes on the lampposts. This was reported in the regional newspaper Der Stentor in the summer of 2021. Ezaz published an article, see below, blah, blah, blah. An article from the WEF website predicts a different future for urban living because of COVID. Quote, the COVID-19 pandemic has forced us to rethink the way we live. It is transforming industries. No, it hasn't. Yeah. It is transforming industries and how we do business. It is intensifying social and economic crises in our communities. And it is challenging fundamental...
Because the government shut down the entire fucking economy because of that. That is not the proof. That is the government who did that.
And now you're seeing these articles that are like, oh, maybe we didn't have to do all that. Oh, you think?
Just by the way, how many of you guys in the chat, how many of you guys among your friends and family, you were the crazy weirdo who said, this is bullshit, this is some crazy global scheme, and you were called a conspiracy theorist and nutcase, and you were pretty much demonized even though you knew you were right from the fucking get-go? Because I was that guy.
For me, my family's based, but...
Yeah. Well, okay, my mother knew it was kind of bullshit. My father is a fucking COVID moron. But for the most part, I was the weird one. Among like a lot of Discord servers that I would troll, I was the weird one. Like, oh, I was the asshole. I was the one who wouldn't do what everyone else does. I was the bad guy. I didn't mind being the bad guy because I would rather be the bad guy than be the moron.
Yeah. Yeah, me too. I'd rather be the bad guy than the moron.
I didn't trust the experts for a very simple reason. The entire world was doing the exact same thing.
Well, there was...
That to me was the thing. Like the entire world's doing the same thing. Like instantly, from what I read about politics, when this is some fuck shit. If everyone is doing the same thing, something bad is going to happen. That is a guarantee.
Here's the thing: as a scientist, albeit a social scientist, which is a laughable thing, I looked at what they were doing. I was like, there is no expert. It's a novel virus. There can be no expert. There can be no expert on this virus if it's novel. The entire idea was, everything about it was, again, from a scientific perspective, ludicrous. Absolutely ludicrous. The handling.
Oh, yeah. No,
I mean, it's challenge. Sorry.
no, I said this to someone before. Like the thing that made me absolutely lose my mind is that if someone comes to you and says, "There's a dangerous thing going around," your first instinct, as anyone with sense, would be, "How dangerous? Oh, your chance of fatality is 0.03%. That's it.
Yep.
Fuck you. I don't know. And I would just walk the other way. 0.03%. That is not dangerous.
Yeah. I mean, it's higher if you're over the
Flu
age
is
of
better chance
80.
of killing you. Yes. I'm not 80. I'm 32. Screw you.
I
I'm
know.
not overweight. If I wake up in the morning, I can see my penis. I'm good.
Yeah, I'm not. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're the same age. I'm not overweight.
You can't see your penis when you wake up, though. So.
I can't see my penis when I wake up, though. I mean, I know it's there in spirit, but
Battery operated.
where was I? Oh, okay. So I wasn't.
Yeah.
I wasn't worried about
I was born in
it
89,
either.
actually.
1990.
I was born in 89,
Right,
Christmas Eve.
Oh, right, yeah.
Yeah, I've a very unusual or very bad birthday, depending on who I ask. But I share a birthday with Lemmy Kilmister from Motorhead, and therefore that's badass.
Although I did ask you before about the birthdays, did it suck to? Does it suck to be born on Christmas Eve so that you don't like get a special day for your birthday? It's just like Christmas too.
No. If I got a big present from like family members or something, it would be something substantial. Like a trip to Egypt on my 18th birthday.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, because everyone else,
Hell yeah.
The blessings of being an only child. Because like if you are, if you're a family member and you've got brothers and sisters, I imagine going to Egypt on your 18th is not probably feasible. And for me,
probably not. If you got to have.
Yeah, and for me, it was kind of weird because I kind of got, I won't say made fun of at school, but it was kind of like, ooh, you posh boy. Because everyone else, when they turn 18, get drunk at their local bar. Like, that's the thing they do in Ireland. And I just went like, no, I went to Egypt. That was my 18th birthday present. So I was like, oh, that's snooty.
I was supposed to do that. My godfather was supposed to take me to like on a European. We were supposed to like get on a train. He really like my godfather, even despite being an American, is a Germaboo. So his family's German. He loves German music. He loves the opera. Germophile, yeah. His Germaboo is like a weeaboo. Yeah, Germophile. He loves their music. He loves their culture. He loves their food.
Beer drinking habits.
Definitely their beer drinking habits. He really, and he's never been to Germany, but he really wanted to get on the Autobahn and drive a car at absurd, at ludicrous speed.
I've done that, by the way. I wasn't. No, I was okay. How much of this can I share? Let's just say I was with a girl and her family, and we were driving to the airport we were driving to the airport on the Autobahn, and her father had an automatic. I think it was an Audi, and that dude drove. That dude drove that Audi like hell was chasing him. Like we were doing like 220 on the Autobahn, and he was. The main thing I remember about it is that the car was smooth as shit. It was insane. Like I was looking like, how fast are we driving? Because I could see we're moving pretty quick. Ride was smooth as hell. Like this is why German engineering kicks fucking ass. But he was just bolting down. And I remember the one thing. This is really bad. He hit a pigeon or a bird 220, and all he just doof. We were laughing about it because we're men and we're assholes. The girl's mum was like borderline in tears because when we got to the airport and looked at it, you just see like blood and feathers coming out of the freaking the fender in the front.
Turn it into dust. It removed that bird from the account.
Oh, but yeah, absolutely. But we just thought it was hilarious because we just thought it was funny. Like, what the hell is? You laugh at it, but yeah, that was that was my experience with the Autobahn. We did 220. I still remember looking over his seat and just seeing the speedometer. I'm like, damn, this is. Yeah, because there's no speed limits in Germany.
Yeah, you can do what you want. On the Autobahn. I think there's speed limits in most roads. Just
I think, but the Autobahn has none. Because I remember speaking to her about this. And someone, if you're German in the chat, you can tell me. I think their driver's license, their test to get your license is incredibly strict. So to drive in Germany, you really need to not be an asshole. And know your shit, which just explains why you can have
an issue with the United States stricting up its because The U.S.
Just to make a
is
DMV line shorter.
extraordinarily easy to get a license in the U.S.
You have automatic
I would
cars,
say.
that's maybe why.
Huh?
You have automatic cars, that's maybe why.
Yeah, but the test, it's a written test and then an actual driving test, and both are extremely easy. Although one time I had to get my license renewed, and I was in Ohio. I had to get renewed and switched from West Virginia to Ohio. And the first person I took the test was this fat woman, which is never a good sign with a government employee when it's a fat woman. You know that she's a bitch, just almost inherently. She hates her job and she takes it out on other people. It's been my experience with every female government employee I've ever encountered. So this nasty bitch was basically like, I came to a full stop at a stoplight, but she said I took too long to accelerate. And I mean, like 5 seconds. Not even, like maybe 2 seconds. And I'm taking a test to get my license renewed. So I'm trying to be, really super proper and not just boom off once the light turns. And she failed me because I didn't accelerate when the light turned green fast enough. I was like, what the hell is that? You're just a bitch is what it is.
Yeah, that's just a bitch. Someone said,
by the way, when I took it with I took it again the next month with a dude. He was like, yeah, 100% flying colors. Because of course.
I want to address something that Deon Spencer said about Volkswagen. I will say, and this is just from statistics, the last time I looked up car manufacturers, it was the top 5, 4 of them were German. And the first one was Japanese. So I don't know what it is about the Germans, but there is something about the German race.
With the Japanese. very good at precision.
Yes, but like the Japanese, like if you were to say, look, I want to just get 3 races of human beings to just focus on engineering. 2 of them is going to be Japan. Maybe 3 of them, you probably say Korean, Japanese, German. I don't know why, but there's just something about German specifically, their race of people or their culture, that makes them very good at engineering. I don't know why. What is it about their culture or thousands of years of history, whatever? But the Germans, for some reason, are just very good at it. Yes. But I will say Britain also has very good engineering as well. Like, if you look at
Britain's got some good cars.
Yes, like if you look
Martin.
at the...
Oh my god.
Yeah, okay, Jag was built by Ford. But if you look at, like, McLarens...
Yeah,
oh my god, McLarens are sexy as shit. By the way, if you don't like a McLaren F1, you are not my friend. That is a prerequisite.
Very sexy car. It's a very sexy car.
It's gold in the engine bay. Like, that's some crazy shit. Actually, I think that's the Germans
it's ridiculously expensive, but that's kind of the point.
Yeah, but I mean it's a collector's
luxury
edition.
Cars.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it also, if you just look at the car, it just looks like something that is way above the 90s. And that thing was the top speed for like 15 years until it was the Veyron who beat it. And even if you see it on the straight, it would still accelerate the shit past the Veyron. Only the top speed after a while would the Veyron catch up. But that's just a work of art, and it is a magnificent piece of engineering. And I know the Commodore that is used to maintain it is still like a 93 model or something. That's exceptionally rare. It costs like thousands of dollars now because it is used specifically to update the McLaren F1 because they still use that because of the technology in that one specific laptop. I think they've been trying to get it. Yeah, it's a certain Commodore laptop that they use because the interface is still that one. I think they've been trying to get it to a more modernized system because
I would hope so. They're not using Commodores anymore. But,
because you can't specifically use that.
No pants, baby says McLarens are gay or Lambos.
Get out of my chat right now. Fuck off. No. McLarens are not gay or Lambos. Lambos are wannabe McLarens. Like, it just looks a cool car. Like, it has a seat in the middle. It just looks base. I have nothing against the Lamborghinis, by the way. Yes, I do. I do like the Countach. It's very blocky. It's the very 70s. Like, you can look and you can tell this is a car out of the 70s because it looks very weird in any other dimension. And
Kizza for £5 says, Spoon, speaking of the McLaren F1.6 1-liter BMW V12 engine, pushing 627 HP with a top speed of 241 mph in 1993, developed by Gordon Murray, a South African.
Yeah, not a surprise.
Thanks, Kizza. And interesting.
I didn't know Gordon Murray was South African. I know his name. I didn't know he was South African.
There you go.
Oh. Okay. Anyway, every day. Was he actually? I need to look that up now. I'm genuinely curious.
While you do, getting back to the topic at hand,
Yeah, go on.
since we've gone off a little bit, I'll continue this quote from the
That was the first car
WEF.
that I ever is one of the first two cars I ever liked as a kid. That was
Yeah?
like my yes, I liked because I had a remote control car of an XJ220, the Jaguar.
That's cool.
And
Yeah.
I remember when I was at school, there was a book called Dream Cars. And it had a whole bunch of cars in it, and one of them was the XJ220. And it had a really sad legacy because it was built with like an insane amount of features, and the final one, because of financial problems, it wasn't built with the specifications, and it had like a really poor launch. And it was very, very sad because you look at the car and it is just this beautiful space age looking car. It looks very much what someone from the 90s think a future car would looks like. And it is just really sad that it was this car with this magnificent hype, and it just didn't deliver when it looks beautiful. It is a very exceptional piece of engineering, and it's very sad because you just look at the guy like, wow, you had such great potential.
And because for another £5 says, also speaking of cars, England are the undisputed kings of motorsport. No one can touch us. Well, I don't think you'll find a whole lot
Although
of
I think with rally cars, the Finns are the kings. I don't know why. I think it's because Finns also have an insane amount of requirements for their driving. Probably why they produce so many.
Another culture that produces very precise mechanical products. Finns are very good at that stuff as well.
Oh yeah, he was born in Durban, South Africa. Yeah.
Anywho, back to this WEF quote. Not to get too far off, although it is fun. Where was it? Okay. I'll start from the top. The COVID-19 pandemic has forced us to rethink the way we live. It is transforming industries and how we do business. It is intensifying social and environmental crises in our communities, and it is challenging fundamental assumptions and global trends, such as urbanization, that have cemented over more than 200 years since the first industrial revolution. As the world prepares to build back stronger and better, we have... Well, the WEF is still using it. When they publish this article... oh. A world of order. Interesting. They don't have a date on this article, so I'm not sure when they published it. Yeah, I have no idea when they published it. There's no date on it. But it continues. We have the new tools available to support this effort. The people of Apeldoorn can count themselves at the forefront of this transformation on how we as city dwellers will soon live together. But not everyone in Apeldoorn is equally happy with the white spies in his front door. Residents of other cities see Apeldoorn as their foreland. A few reactions from residents to the article in Dissenter were remarkable. For example, Ronald Zwerink wrote, "Because it is my field, I have checked out Radio LED. Their website is not very meaningful, mainly general slogans and no clear product or service description, only vague videos on a Vimeo via Google about smart cities. The addresses on the website lead to residential houses and a multi-tenant building in AT, which looks like a postal address. According to LinkedIn, only 6 people would work, which is strange. If they do product development themselves, my gut feeling doesn't bode well." In Apeldoorn, it concerns the installation of these white boxes about 30 by 30 centimeters, which are hung from lampposts at a height of 5 meters every 200 to 300 meters. Although many people think it is Wi-Fi, it is most likely 5G, so mobile internet, sure. The point is, secret agreement with Radio LED would emerge in the documents made available to us. This is isas.nl. By the municipality is that it had concluded an agreement with Radio LED, a so-called availability agreement. According to the municipality, this would have been signed with the Austrian company by the end of 2021. Below is an excerpt of the letter. It's in Dutch. I can't read it. The municipality announced, thank you for your... Okay. We therefore made an attempt to gain more insight as to the agreements. In a response from the municipality, they announced, thank you for the reminder. Threatening a WAB request is not necessary. As my colleague has indicated, it is up to Radio LED to provide you with a substantial answer, which the company has not done. Editor's note. The network is not being constructed at the request of the municipality of Apeldoorn. The client and operator of the network is Radio LED. Whatever. You get the the council is distressed. This is a very long article. I suggest you read it. I will leave it here in the chat. if you'd like to read through this article. The fact of the matter is it looks like they're going to install surveillance equipment in their new city of the future every 300 feet. 200 to 300 feet.
Yeah, by the way, what's going to power this?
I don't know.
And with what are they going to power it?
Who knows?
Because you don't have green energy. Green energy doesn't have the power to power this kind of shit.
It's
going to be something else. It's going to be, I don't know, oil or natural gas or anything else.
For the time being, for sure. So the thing is here that's interesting then is that their city of the future, that they are buying up the land and they are using this nitrate policy or nitrogen policy in order to facilitate the buying up of the land by the government to build this megalopolis, will be a full-on surveillance state. If you can't read it, if you've got Google Translate, what I was reading was off of Google Translate. It's not bad for this article. Some are better than others. Anywho,
by the way, democracy is gay. Because if you think you're going to vote this thing out, you're an idiot.
You can't.
You're not going to vote this thing out. Voting is what got these people fucking in the... Does it not strike anyone as entirely weird as the United States is trying to push democracy on the entire fucking world? Does it not strike you weird that every government on the entire fucking planet is the same type of government? You don't think that is what makes it susceptible to penetration?
Well, perhaps.
And then you have an authoritarian regime like Russia and people go like, oh, we don't want that. I'm like, yeah, actually, I do. I do want that.
I don't want an authoritarian regime.
No, I do. But... I want the autocrat who says the WF to fuck off. If someone says to me, democracy or the autocrat, give me the autocrat. More governments
to tell the WF to piss off, which, well...
Yeah, so give me the autocrat.
Did work with them somewhat.
What do you want? The autocrat's actual rule that you can see, or this bullshit crap that you think you have freedom? I'd rather see it.
People... we've been over this many times. People love... the idea of freedom, and they will sacrifice their freedoms. They will hand over their freedoms willingly for the idea of being more free and having more liberty. And it's truly for the god of government, and specifically the god of democracy, which has replaced God because as societies have become more atheistic.
No, was it secular? Was it H.L. Mencken who said if voting worked, they wouldn't let us do it?
Well, exactly. If voting worked, it wouldn't be allowed. Yeah. And that is a
true statement.
I think that is telling. On a lighter note, would you like to, sort of lighter note, would you like to watch some of the videos of the Dutch farmers and what they are doing to fight back against this insanity?
Do we have a video of a tank?
Yes, it's in this. It's right here in this article I just linked to you.
I want to see a tank. I want to see my members of ancestral heritage. What? That is a big fucking tank. It's a Sherman,
It's a big fucking tank. I don't know. I have no idea what kind of tank it is.
I think it's
older.
Yeah, it's
I don't know anything about tanks. Probably somebody in the chat knows something about tanks. I don't know. I have no idea. But if you play it, just let me know when you start.
Oh, can I make this bigger?
Okay, I just played on the page. Okay. All right, ready?
Yeah, go on.
Let's go. It's just real short, just so you can see. I mean, there's no real reason necessarily. I don't know where they got the tank, but it's awesome. They have a freaking tank. It almost breaks the trying to get off of it, like it looks like it's gonna snap the struts to get it off.
Sherman Firefly, there we go.
Thank you. Thank you, Spartan Cat 123.
Based.
That's about all. This is, of the tank itself. Police are violently pulling down the blockades one by one, according to journalist Keenan Baxty. We've got his little video here, if you'd like to play it. Let me know.
There you go.
Alright, play.
Keenan Baxty here, live on location in the Netherlands. Right here behind me is a truck involved in a blockading distribution centers for grocery chains. They're farmers, and frankly, actually, this one's not a farmer. This one's just a construction worker, actually, I think, that has a large truck that is joining the farmers in a protest against the globalist left-wing government run by Mark Rutte. Now, this government, this left-wing government, has passed a policy that has been suggested and pushed by Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum. It's a policy that will see nitrogen pollution cut in half by 2030. Now,
70%.
Along
actually.
with cutting nitrogen pollution comes cutting farms, cutting farm production, and cutting farm jobs. Now you can see this red handkerchief behind me. It has become a symbol of the protests here in the Netherlands. They're flying off the shelves at every store, and every protester is carrying one. Alongside these flags are Dutch flags that are flying upside down on every farm across the countryside. As I drove in here from Amsterdam, you could see them. Every farmer in this country is united against this government, and they're blockading the distribution centers of grocery stores to let the public know exactly where their food comes from and what will happen.
It will get worse
If Mark Rutte, Klaus Schwab, and the rest of the globalists get their way. I'm going to speak with as many farmers as I can. I'm going to try and capture exactly what is happening here.
It will get worse.
Yep.
They are just giving you a warning of what will happen. They're ripping the Band-Aid off
pretty quickly.
Well, the reality is that, WEF and the Netherlands government is trying to boil the frog slowly. What the farmers are doing is ripping it off, ripping the Band-Aid off and saying, this is what will happen. You will not have as much food, you won't have as many options, and it will cost you exorbitantly more money. Again, I bring up Netherlands' second largest producer of food.
By the way, the only way they're going to get rid of this is to overthrow their government. You do realize that, right?
Probably. I have a point on that.
I know people will say
right
we'll lose their mind, but you can't vote this out. People have
I
to
don't
realize
think
that you have to violently overthrow your state. Like,
if
that
you
is
cut
the
the head
only
off this
option.
Hydra, if you cut the head off this Hydra, there's a body behind it and 100 other heads that will grow off of it. This is the problem with these oligarchies. You cannot vote them out.
Yeah,
because you have to pull out the weed by the root.
Yeah,
that's the problem.
Yeah, this is regime change.
It's going to have to be regime change, I would think.
This is not a problem you can solve by democracy. And people, that's very terrifying to people, but that is the God's honest truth. You're not going to solve this by voting. This requires heavy freaking regime change.
Again, I have an interesting point about that here in just a minute, but let's go through the rest of this Zero Hedge article and watch some more of these videos. Update: Dutch police have targeted shots on Tuesday evening during farmers' protests in the town of Heerenveen. Heerenveen. Is that better?
Link me?
It's in the same Zero Hedge article. Just scroll down. Yeah. Update 9:20 ET. According to the police, a threatening situation arose when protesters tried to drive into officers and official cars. Okay, they didn't, from what I can see, but who knows. Warning shots. There's no such thing as a warning shot.
Is the name.
Thank you. Warning shots. Again, there's no such thing as a warning shot. Were then fired, and an officer also fired pointedly. No one was injured, but a tractor was hit. These people have been arrested. Because a police officer fired shots, the National Criminal Investigation Department will investigate the incident, and I'm sure find themselves innocent.
A shot at you is not a warning shot. A shot away from you is a warning shot. A shot at you is trying to hit you.
There's still no such thing as a warning shot. It's a misnomer. If you are shooting, it's the first aspect of firearm safety. There is no such thing as a warning shot. You shoot to kill or to incapacitate, okay? There is no such thing as a warning shot. But here, watch this video. Dude, watch freaking... my brain's not working right now. No. my brain's buffering. Just watch this this freaking multi-tractor drifting in this video. Tell me when you're ready.
Okay, go on.
Alright, play it.
It drives like a freaking boss.
I know, look how fast it went.
Should crush the police car.
Nee joh, hey, wapens jongen, wapens!
That's weapons, by the way.
Hey, wallah, rij weg jongen, rij weg!
Rij weg is drive away. Zijn we in Afrikaans?
Je hebt het op film? Ja! Je hebt het op film dat ze schieten? Ga weg, ga pleiten, je doet nu ook niet te schieten, man. Nee joh.
He just said that's crazy, he shot him.
Yeah. So, if you scroll down, it's in Dutch, but you can see the bullet hole in the tractor.
Scott's in a shot
Now, I would like to also
yeah,
now point you to,
Putin.
meanwhile,
Yeah.
the video below the words, meanwhile.
Varsi's warning, by the way.
Oh, play this video, dude. The one that just has the Netherlands is fire, that tweet.
Okay.
Alright, play. This is, dude. Oh, mute it, because it's music.
Back in TikTok.
The thing that's spreading, it's
That's
manure.
Yeah.
They're covering them in shit.
Good.
I know, you deserve it.
Now, if we could only do this in Brussels. I like how the farmers are just like, no, fuck you. We're just gonna walk over there where the hell we damn well please. Like, screw
They're
you.
they're just running shit over. It's unfathomably based. I think that's about it for this. I mean, it goes on, but they seem to be repeating itself a bit.
I find it funny because everyone thinks of the
God,
Dutch
look
as
at all the
always just,
tractors.
like, very calm people, and then like, no, if you push us to the extreme, we're just gonna walk all over you and fuck you.
Yeah.
Like, yes, very good. Well done.
Yeah. According to the report, MP Caroline Vanderplas of the Burger...
Boer.
You read that words then.
What am I reading?
Burger Berwegin.
Boer.
Oh, I tried. It's my best.
I need to teach this one how to roll her R's. This is what you get for speaking Japanese, that you can't roll her R's because they don't fucking have any.
I can roll R's. I just pronounce everything with a Japanese accent, even other languages.
Yeah, but this is not Japanese. This is Dutch.
I know. I speak Spanish with a Japanese accent.
I don't even know how the hell you do that.
It's because your palate stops forming when you're like 14
This
years old.
is really weird. This is what Dutch police undercover looks like. This looks exactly like the American Patriot thing.
Oh, yeah, that stuff. I have that in here.
But they look exactly the same.
Because, again, we'll get to this, I suppose. It depends on how long we go.
That's so weird.
They got caught pretending... It's in here. It's down here. It's down here in the Zero Hedge article, yeah. The Dutch police were pretending to be part of the protest to subvert them and got caught. It's amazing. We'll go through it real quick. It's amazing. Real quick, here's the supermarkets. Wait, first.
Where is it?
Wait, first. I want to just watch the videos.
Which one?
Okay, so the one from Ingrid at Twatter67. I have no idea what it says. It's in Dutch.
Okay.
Alright. I don't know if it's about just
Distribution center.
Oh, it's a distribution center.
Oh, it's a gathering of the...
You're gonna see all the tractors.
Yes.
So they're blockading it. It's...
Good on them.
Oh my... Klappen either hand. Yeah.
Yeah, Boeren protest means farmers protest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then Radio Genova has the Dutch supermarkets today. No farms, no food. Dutch farmers wins. Let's play this. All right.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, because if you...
Look at it. Because they're pretty... Like, I feel bad if people are suffering. I don't want anyone to suffer and not be able to eat. But you're going to have to... I think people are going to have to be uncomfortable. Otherwise, the government will take everything from you in the name of comfort.
Yeah, I feel like and you need to tell this to people. If you have to pick a side, like I want to say that to the police forces. If you have to pick a side between the people who feed you or the state, you pick the people who feed you. You dumbasses. Maricón. There we go.
You probably should, yeah.
Someone in the chat told me to say that. I don't know why. Why I want to ask people in the chat. Why is it that you people like it when I roll my R's in a word? I just sound like V.
Man.
Just with a deeper voice.
Fishermen in the country have also...
Thing
Well, it's a lot of... R rolling is required in a lot of languages.
The virtuous people. Go on.
Oh. Fishermen in the country have also begun blocking ports in solidarity with the farmers. We heard that before. A tractor at another protest in the northern town of Drachten urged people to, quote, think for a moment about what you want to eat without farmers. Yeah,
of course.
And again, this is they're just ripping the Band-Aid off quickly to show you what's going to happen.
Yeah.
The strike has sparked fears of supermarket food shortages, as fishermen have also blocked a number of harbors in an act of solidarity. Supermarkets do everything they can to keep the stores stocked, but if blockades continue, it could lead to people not being able to do their daily shopping. Oh, heaven forbid. I mean, and I do feel bad, but like, this is serious. This is serious. You're talking about, once again, ripping the Band-Aid off quickly. In addition, traffic authorities warned of delays and possible slow-moving tractors on the nation's highways. I mean, that one wasn't too slow-moving, was it?
No. That was moving like a fucking lightning. I didn't even know they could move that bloody quickly.
Well, Schiphol Airport urged travelers to use
Schiphol.
public transportation. What?
Schiphol.
Oh, sorry. Again, that's why you're here. Thank you. Urged travelers to use public transport to get to its terminals amid fears that the blockades also would target airports. Why would they target airports?
Yeah, there's a block in the road, that's why.
I guess so. So, here's the thing, though. Here we go. From Glynis Payne on Twitter. Undercover police tried to infiltrate the Dutch farmers' protest, but they got caught. Here, play this shit when you're ready. From the tweet from Glynis Payne. You find it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm
Play.
just looking at it. It's like...
Did you play it?
yeah.
Okay.
I like the way they're regressing towards a police car.
But you can totally tell that they're glowies, right?
Yeah.
They're all dressed in black. And I love how they retreated to their cop car. It's amazing.
They're not very good at inciting.
No. Yeah, get out of here, glowy.
I think if the people realize how much power they actually have, these people are fucked.
That's the thing.
The only thing they
People-
rely on is the compliance. If they realize that,
Yes.
if people realize like there is way more of us than there are of them, significantly more, and we have all the power. We have the infrastructure, we have the food. The only thing they have is the state. That's it. That's literally all they
that's
have.
it.
Like you could crush these fucking people in a day, easy.
You do have the power to do this. We all
You
do.
have way more power.
Unfortunately, that's why they're terrified. That's why they're terrified. See,
Soy
here's a
boy.
picture of them. This is what Dutch undercover police agents look
They
like.
look exactly like the
masking-
American Patriot Front. Like exactly.
Yeah, no, they look same thing. They try to look like
Yes.
normies, but they totally don't.
It just looks really cringe and gay.
And of course they're masked. Of course they're masked.
Why do you wear the same masks as the Americans? It just looks really sus.
Yeah.
You just look more like COVID freaks rather than like undercover agents.
No, I don't think so.
Laser ski
They're just
laser
glowies.
ski masks.
So, Mary Oaks, Dutch farmers protesting outside the home of
Well done, you
Minister for
pronounced that name
Nitrogen and
correctly.
Nature Policy. What?
You pronounced that name correctly.
Well, that's
Maria
not
would
an
have
unusual
said.
name.
But
Against the government's plan to target the livestock sector with nitrogen emissions cuts. The plan. Yeah, okay. They said, see, there's no people don't even know the numbers. She says 30%. We read earlier, it's 70%. People are saying 50. It's 70. People don't need, like. Let's see
the
what this
story's
video
all over
is.
the fucking place. Yeah.
Yeah, let's see what this video is. All right,
Okay.
when you ready? Yeah, there we go.
Nice.
Oh my god. Dude, that's awesome. Just cover them in shit. That's what they deserve. Very ghost. And there's another one, just one down from that too. Another video of
Yeah.
them. More and more.
God damn, this is rough.
Yeah.
Thunderstruck.
Whoa! Whoa! Did you get the part where they turn over the car? Holy shit! Or they're trying to turn over that cop car at the end.
I'm watching
Holy
it now.
crap!
Da-da-da-da.
Whoa!
I think you're not allowed to speak ill of the Dutch anymore.
No, I take back all. No, I don't. I mean, I'm still gonna make fun of the Dutch, but
Just not after this. Wow,
no, I
the
still
fires
will.
everywhere. God
I still
damn.
will, but that is awesome. So, what I wanted to bring up is that here's why you don't fuck with the Dutch. I have a article here from the Dutch Review.
If you mess with the
called-
Dutch, they literally might eat you.
The time that the Dutch ate their prime minister.
I mean, that's one way to get rid of your government officials is to eat them.
So I wanted to bring this up because also, why do they eat their PM?
Is this why they grow so big? Because they ate other people?
I guess so.
Oh, wow. That explains me. Okay.
Historical background. In 1672, the Netherlands, known then as the Dutch Republic, was caught in a war with England, France, and two German cities, Cologne and Munster. This year would enter the Dutch history books as the Thank you. Which marked the end of the glorious Dutch Golden Age. The Rampjaar even has its own slogan. You want to try that one?
Het volk was radeloos, die regering radeloos en het land reddeloos.
In English, the people were
irrational, the government helpless, and the country beyond salvation. What a stressful time to be alive. Or worse yet, what a stressful time to be leading a country.
you want to finish this article? Because there's some, if you read into why, and there's not, this is just some historical stuff that's interesting, right?
Okay. The unlucky Johan de Witt was the prime minister at the time for almost 20 years. He was one of the only non-royal leaders in all of Europe. This was to the displeasure of many Dutch citizens who disliked him and would rather have seen the famous William III of the House of Orange, Nassau, take office. Because they wanted a monarchy. The House of Orange was the closest thing the Republic had to a royal family at the time. Johan de Witt, on the other hand, along a strong and wealthy merchant class, bastards, represented Republican interests. The de Witt had been governing the city of Dordrecht, I probably would say, since the medieval times, and the powerful family held high political positions all over the Netherlands. For example, Johan's brother, Cornelis de Witt, was a highly ranked marine officer and a governor of Dordrecht. The violent downfall of Adam. On June 21st of the Rampjaar, an assassin stabbed de Witt, hurting him gravely. De Witt then resigned his 20-year-long leadership, but the people conspiring against him were not yet satisfied. At the same time, his brother Cornelis was arrested for treason, taken to a prison in The Hague, now a museum, more on that later, and torture. It was the custom at the time, torture was just a normal part of imprisonment, good man, as a means to force a confession out of those convicted. And that's very Soviet, actually. Sure, it didn't really matter if the confession was true or not, as long as the person confessed to whatever. The torture was considered justified. Yeah, it's very Soviet. Being a strong lad and not intending to conspire against his own brother, Cornelis refused to confess. He was sentenced,
or witch hunts. They were all like this.
It's very Salem witch trials,
time.
Yeah, Johanna went to prison to help his brother to prepare for the trip. As they both departed, they got captured by a militant mob, which shot both of them and then left them to the crowds. God damn. The crowds do what the crowds do best, lose all sense of sanity. According to some reports, the two brothers were stripped naked, mutilated, and had their livers removed and eaten.
Yep.
C'est la vie.
C'est la guerre, as the French say. So in other words, don't piss off the Dutch plebs. They will kill you
and maybe eat you. How do Germans taste?
I feel like we're seeing a repeat. You know, it's like pottery, it rhymes, history is repeating itself.
I mean, I'm going to be honest. If I knew that you were people who ate some people, I wouldn't fuck with you.
No, I wouldn't either. Also, some of the Dutchoids that I know have said that because Netherlands technically operates under admiralty law, that if the government is then like shooting people, it makes the entire government illegitimate. I don't know how realistic that is. It's just what I've heard from some Dutch friends.
That's
their speculation. Yeah. Anywho.
Yes. A census taker tried to test me once. I ate his liver with some fava beans and a nice Chianti. If you know where that's from, well done you. If you don't, you don't know cinema.
Anywho, there's no reason to bring up the articles.
You should know where that's from because we watched it.
I know. There's no reason to bring up the articles about the food prices skyrocketing. They've been skyrocketing.
Yeah, we all
now
know
they're going to get worse. However, I do have something very curious to show you. I would like you to go to this website for just a second and tell me what you see. If you would bring it up on stream for us here, please. I've sent you a link to a UN article.
Oh, this is the one that V did earlier.
Did he talk about this earlier? I missed that part.
Yeah.
Of course, here is the article that was removed. Here it is. If you.
Oh, it's removed.
Yeah, it's gone.
Oh.
It's gone. The United Nations posted an article. They have since removed it. Now, unfortunately for the UN, I have the article.
Oh, the Wayback Machine.
An image of it. So you see a nice 404, but here's the article. If you're down to pull the image up. While you are, I'll go ahead and start reading it.
Here we go.
This is the thing that they have deleted. The benefits of world hunger.
I want to see if I can message V and just tell him that, by the way. Just that article.
Oh, yeah. That article is gone. I didn't know V covered it. I came in kind of late. But we sometimes talk about hunger in the world as if it were a scourge that all of us want to see abolished, viewing it as comparable with plague or AIDS. But that naive view prevents us from coming to grips with what causes and sustains hunger. Hunger has a great... This video? I don't know.
But I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah. Hunger has great positive value to many people. Indeed, it is fundamental to the working of the world's economy. Hungry people are the most productive people, especially where there is need for manual labor. Oh, so we'll starve them to make them work harder.
By the way, that's total.
How fascinating.
That's a total crock of shit, by the way.
It is
Hungry
a crock
people
of
do not
shit.
work harder. Like, that's slavery.
Yes, they're talking about slavery.
Yes.
This is, again, the UN.
Yes.
We in developed countries sometimes see poor people by the roadside holding up signs saying we'll work for food. Actually, most people work for food.
Everyone
It is
works for
mainly
food,
because-
you dumbass.
I know. Well, not people who work at the UN.
No, they
It
work
is mainly-
because they're tyrannical desires and because they use fucking oppression as
Tyrannical
a fucking
oligarchs.
aphrodisiac.
Yes. It's mainly because people need food to survive that they work so hard either in producing food for themselves in subsistence level production or by selling their services to others in exchange for money.
Yeah,
How
it's
many of
called
us
capitalism.
would sell? Yes. How many of us would sell our services if there was not the threat of hunger?
I think it's a threat
Again,
of
this-
starvation or death, not so much
This is-
hunger.
This is astonishing. You can see why they deleted this post, right,
Yeah,
guys?
because it's straight up Marxism.
It's insane.
It's communism. It's straight
Yeah.
up communism.
In producing food for them. Oh, sorry. More importantly, how many of us would sell ourselves or services so cheaply if it were not for the threat of hunger? When we sell our services cheaply, we enrich others, those who own the factories, the machines, and the lands, and ultimately the people who work for them. Those who depend on the availability of cheap labor, hunger is the foundation of their wealth.
Okay,
The conventional.
couple of
Yeah,
things
go
I want
ahead.
to point out for
Uh-huh.
that, because there's a couple of things to really unpack there. When we sell our services cheaply, the cheap doesn't really matter. It matters what the money can buy. Cheap is an arbitrary freaking word. It's like what is your
as we will
purchasing
learn.
power with what you earned? That
As
is
we
the
will
beauty of
learn.
the market.
Later in the stream as inflation goes through the freaking roof.
Yes.
Yeah,
and
what is
also,
your money worth?
Yeah, that last part which says, depending on the availability, hunger is the foundation of their wealth. Okay, if that is the case, wouldn't eliminating hunger then be a good key?
You would think so, right?
Hello, if hunger is a thing that makes people exploit labor, how the hell are you saying that less hunger or more hunger is better then? That contradicts your first and second paragraph
I
entirely.
think they're saying more hunger is good for the world so people will work harder.
Yeah, but you just said that's the thing that exploits people. Like, your
I know.
first and second paragraph makes no sense. They're completely contradictory.
Because they don't care.
It's
They don't
mask
care.
off
They
between
have
1
to
and 2.
I know, it's complete mask off. Also, Kissa for £5 says, so who wants to make the UN a victim of a famine? Vote in the Discord server. Yeah,
Me.
how about we just vote here as well?
By the way, do you know who I blame for this?
Who do you blame?
I blame Woodrow Wilson. Because it was his fucking
Understandably.
Because his League of Nations was a prerequisite for this UN bullshit. It was his stupid idea for the making the world safe for democracy. Wilson, you are the most evil fucking bastard.
know.
Like, I'm sorry, but Stalin and Mao has nothing on this asshole. Yes, he killed 60 million people. Yeah, but
Hasohapa, if he's writing in satire, I don't know, but
that's not
is
satire.
it satire? Furious Dan, why did they delete this then?
Yeah. If it's satire, it's not very good satire.
No, I mean, like, if it's satire, this is hilarious.
That's
But
not
then-
satirical. The UN doesn't do satire.
If it's satire, this is hilarious. But then why did the UN remove this article?
Yeah.
I just find that, again, if it's satire, funny as shit.
Why would the UN delete this if it's satire?
But it makes it really, and maybe he did write it satirically. Here, you know what might have happened? He did write it satirically. The UN took it at face value and then got embarrassed.
Well, let's look him up, by the way.
The name is really familiar to me.
George Kent. I think you're thinking of George Kennan from...
No, not George
The
Kennan.
Soviet
I
Union.
know George Kennan, but yeah, the ambassador. But George Kent.
Maybe he's a real person.
Is the same guy?
As American
Wait a minute.
diplomat.
University of Hawaii.
He was a professor at the Department of Political Science, 1970s, until he retired at the end of 2010.
Are we sure this is the same guy?
He's a real person, all right, yeah.
No, wait. I think we're not thinking of the same guy. This dude.
No, he's
Is
real.
it the same? No, I know, but because the name George Kent sounded familiar to me as well.
The political
This guy is
economy
a
of hunger,
professor
the
at the
silent
University of Hawaii.
Holocaust. Yeah.
If you look up George Kent, University of Hawaii, you don't find very much. I think it's a different George Kent than
This is
who
the
we're mostly
Hawaii
thinking
one.
of. This is a different person from, I think, because that name sounded familiar to me as well. But this is a different dude, I believe. I could be wrong. And I often am. But either way, if anyone in the chat knows that this is a different George Kent, this is the guy who
He's in
teaches
Australia right now, apparently.
Just to be clear, I'd like to show you what his website looks like. And you can see what kind of bring this up. I put it in the chat, but because just check this out. It's a real. He's got his Vita on here.
He looks like an
read his
evil
CV.
German scientist wearing a Hawaiian shirt in that photo.
I don't know if this is the George Kent we're thinking of.
It looks really weird. That's not him.
No, this is him. This is the guy, the professor of political science at University of Hawaii. The one who wrote this article.
I have his CV here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit boring. It's just a lot of links. But
I mean, it's all it is. It's some real Web 1.0 crap. Anywho. The conventional thinking is that hunger is caused by low-paying jobs. For example, an article reports on Brazil's ethanol slaves, 200,000 migrant sugar cutters who prop up renewable energy boom. While it is true that hunger is caused by low-paying jobs, we need to understand that hunger at the same time causes low-paying jobs to be created. Who would have established massive biofuel production operations in Brazil if they did not know there were thousands of hungry people desperate enough to take the awful jobs they would offer? Who would build any sort of factory if they did not know that many people would be available to take the jobs at low-paying rates? Much of the hunger literature talks about how it is important to assure that people are well-fed so that they can be more productive. This is nonsense. No one works harder than hungry people. Yes, people who are well-nourished have greater capacity for productivity and productive physical activity, but well-nourished people are far less willing to do that work.
that's rubbish.
This is insane.
Yeah.
The non-governmental organization Free the Slaves defines slaves as people who are not allowed to walk away from their jobs. It estimates that there are about 27 million slaves in the world, including those who are literally locked into workrooms and held as bonded laborers in South Asia. However, they do not include people who might be described as slaves to hunger. That is, so here's where we come.
So he
through
basically
his
described
actual point.
humanity.
Yeah.
With that one sentence.
Those who are free to walk away from their jobs but have nothing better to go to. Maybe most people who work are slaves to hunger. For those of us at the high end of the social ladder, ending hunger globally would be a disaster. If there were no hunger in the world, who would plow the fields? Who would harvest our vegetables? Who would work in rendering plants? Who would clean our toilets? We would have to produce our own food and clean our own toilets. No wonder people at the high end are not rushing to solve the hunger problem. For many of us, hunger is not a problem, but an asset. So,
I don't even know how that
think
last
this
bit makes any sense.
Send me a search link on Discord. Hang on. Did you post it in the live stream chat? Probably. Let me find
People don't
this.
seem to understand this, but you have a constant desire to satiate your appetite for food, because if you don't, you die, you starve. So the idea of like, why would we keep producing food? Because we need continuous consumption of goods to feed ourselves, you dumbass.
This is the same guy.
Fucking common sense.
That's the same guy we talked about. This is if he is a satirist, I don't see any evidence of that. This does not appear to be a satirist. The IPRA Foundation, Professor Emeritus, University of Hawaii. If it's a satire, it's damn good satire, but otherwise it's insane. And
I don't think it's satire.
Scary that I can't tell.
I think he's a twat. That's my opinion.
I don't see. I'm reading what you posted me, Hasahapa. Yeah, I don't see any evidence that this guy's a satirist. He's Professor Emeritus, which that's a big deal, by the way, being Professor Emeritus. It means he can basically never lose his position. At the University of Hawaii.
You really should.
Ending hunger worldwide, regulating infant formula.
Dan's right, by the way. It sounds like a straight up
he mostly talks about hunger. That appears to be his focus, yeah. So...
But he's well fed.
So I'm not sure if this is satire or not. Maybe he was screwing with the UN, in which case, bravo, sir, but wowee. Is that horrifying? Is he arguing for slavery? Yeah,
Yeah,
a
he
little
is. Yeah, he is.
bit. He appears to be.
He's making the case that people are starving and more productive.
Whether it's satire or not, and I don't think it is, the UN deleted the article from their website.
I wonder why.
So, speaking of inflation and things going tits up,
Someone tell V that he made the video shut down.
Oh no, V did it. Yes, blame V for V got the UN to take this shitty article down.
Hashtag V versus UN.
So speaking of inflation,
oh my God, Newsom, you did not.
23 million Californian residents to receive up to $1,050 in inflation relief funds. Now,
oh my God, that's
can you please help me? Please, Jesus, take the wheel.
Am I Jesus in this scenario?
No, not you. I actually want Christ to take the wheel on this. God, why? How? We're gonna fight inflation through more inflation. Oh, how are you this politically illiterate? I'm flat. I'm actually at a loss for words. How are you this politically and economically illiterate to not understand that if you introduce more money into the system that's already inflated, it only increases inflation?
23 million.
Economist. I'm no economist.
You're going to give 23 million people over $1,000.
Yes, we're going 23 million in total. Yeah.
You're going to give 23 people $1,000.
You're going to give... yeah, okay. California budget addresses the state's most pressing needs and prioritizes getting dollars back into the pockets of millions of Californians who are grappling with global inflation and rising prices of everything from gas to groceries. Yeah, but you know what won't fix that?
Doesn't that mean like $23 billion is going to be spent?
If you give, yes, 23 million, not billion.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, 23 billion.
No. $23 million is being divided up.
No, 23 million residents.
Oh, 23 million residents too.
Yes.
Oh.
Yes.
Fuck. Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Billion.
I misread it. I misread it. $17 billion inflation relief package.
You're going to spend $17 billion to relieve inflation.
Oh, thank you.
Oh my
I misread it.
Oh my, I hate...
This is insane. This is incomprehensible, right?
You are unbelievably fucking retarded. Like, this is just... Jesus Christ.
Incomprehensible. Because this is the level of economic acumen that the average Democrat, and I would say the average person in general, but definitely the average Democrat has, is that, we'll just print more money. That'll stop inflation.
I don't think they know what causes inflation.
Screams internally. Oh my God. No, what are you doing? I can't. I can't. It's not how this works. I mean, it is how this works. As in, that's how you get inflation. You absolute...
fucking retard.
Mongoloid. I just...
California's budget addresses the state's most pressing needs by making it worse.
Oh my God.
Look at this. Prioritize getting back dollars in the pockets of millions of Californians. You're not doing that. You're printing more money, you dumbass.
It would be way funnier if it wasn't so goddamn depressing. These are the people who are running the state. This is the person running the state of California. And there are going to be people who are like, thank you, Gavin, for the extra $1,000. What? Meanwhile, your $1,000 is going to be worth exponentially less every time they do this kind of crap. How? Please, for the love of God. I don't believe in public school systems because we've seen what they have done, but if we're going to have a public school system, can we please require Thomas Sowell's
Basic economics or Henry Hazlitt, sorry.
A required piece of literature?
Or like
my goodness.
Or like, you know, it's a good book. You know, it's a good book you should read. What Has Government Done to Our Money? By Murray and Rothbard, which is not very, very long. Or Anatomy of the State.
It's not long.
That's like 60 pages.
Far longer. Well, Government Done to Our Money, I think, is like 10 maybe. It's pretty short.
Yeah, the Anatomy of the State is something like 50 pages.
Anatomy of the State, both absolutely highly recommended readings. They might be available for free on the Mises Institute. Actually,
yeah, they are. They are
Okay.
both. I have them both.
So yes, go to the Mises Institute and check out any of Murray
Get as
Rothbard's
many
writings,
books as
honestly.
you can from the Mises website.
Yes,
and become
plenty
an Austrian
of free
economist.
books there.
Yes,
You know,
because
before you
modern
accuse
economics is gay.
before you accuse libertarians of all being greedy, plenty of free books on economics and policy and government. on the
We're
Mises
terribly
Institute.
greedy people. We want a monarch to just leave us the fuck alone. Versus democracy fags who want to scream.
Whoa, you said the F slur.
No, I didn't say that one.
Okay, cool.
You can.
Jernigan,
I've noticed you can say the 3-letter one. People don't seem to care as much about that. It's the 6-letter one that bugs people.
Yeah, well, we'll get into some of that too. Jarnegi for 5 says, "Take the money and run. Flee, idiots." Runs away in Japanese. Yes, run away. Run. Like, first of all, okay, I don't actually want Californians to leave. I do feel bad for the innocent Californians, but unfortunately, at large, you have voted for this, and I think you should have to stay there and reap what you've sown. And then Ardent Party for 2 says, "Bets, how many will use that 1K to leave California?"
That's a good point.
That is not enough. That is not. Look, if you really hate it and you do not, but I have made this argument before. If you leave California, I think you shouldn't be able to vote anywhere else for 5 years.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I'm not saying forever. I'm saying for 5 years. You shouldn't be able to vote somewhere else until you can acclimate because you've made dumb decisions. Statistically, right?
Yeah. The smartest decision you did was leaving California.
That would be your smart decision, but I'm skeptical on you being able to vote immediately before you understand the culture you're moving into. It's not like that of California. So the amount of the California inflation relief, the amount of California inflation relief payments varies depending on income and dependence in the household, and eligibility is divided into 3 categories. Payments are expected to be going out to individuals at the end of October.
Stupidest.
Yes, and conclude by the middle of January, according to California's Franchise Tax Board. Couples filing jointly with an income of $150,000 or less receive $1,500 or $101,050 with a dependent, and $700 without a dependent. Couples with an income of $150,001 to $250,000 will receive $750 with a dependent and $500 without a dependent.
I feel like if you're making that kind of money, that $750 doesn't mean jack shit.
In California, you can't live under 150,000. Like you can't. You live in a box.
Oh, even
that's how
money,
expensive
apparently.
California is. Yeah, that's how expensive it is to live in California. So, astonishing. Like, this is not how you beat inflation. You complete imbecile.
Oh, this is how you cause more inflation.
Now, at the same time, and I this will be in my video that should be out tomorrow, by the way, guys. I have a new video about an hour and 20 minutes long on gun ownership. Is that there is this that happened
10 more
a couple
states.
weeks ago.
Which states?
This happened a couple days ago.
They're all blue states.
Yeah, this happened on June 29th. These articles came out. California DOJ data breach exposes personal information of all concealed carry permit holders across the state. The TLDR of this, what happened is, let's not read the article because I'm well aware of this. It's really short too. I'll just tell you what happened. What happened? Okay, I will read it. The breach occurred as part of the state Justice Department's launch of its 2022 firearms dashboard portal, officials said. The names, addresses, and license types of all concealed carry permit holders in California were exposed after the state Justice Department suffered a data breach, authorities said. Now, when they say data breach, do you think that means that they were hacked?
I think that's what they're trying to sell it as, but I don't think that's what actually happened.
No, Arden, I think I got Kizza's super chat. If I did, let me know, Kizza. It was not a hack. The government just put the just made the information public.
Yeah, a data breach makes it sound...
It was not a data breach. They made it public, and people found it, and they called it a data breach.
Yeah, I think that's more likely.
It is more than just the concealed carry permit stuff as well. This is what the NBC News article
Personal
covers.
Information. Age, address, criminal... Oh, yeah, their address, yeah.
Your address. It's also any seller of firearms, dealers, and it's actually any owner of a firearm, not just concealed carry. Anybody who owns a firearm or sells firearms in the state of California just got doxxed. How curious that it happens right after the Supreme Court decision.
Yeah.
That says that you can't prevent people from... You can't do these red flag laws. You can't do, or not red flag laws. You can't do this concealed carry permit restrictions in New York. And then all of a sudden, within a week, California just accidentally doxes every single one of their freaking gun owners in the state.
Yeah, that's
and dealers.
Job.
It's a complete inside job.
Yeah.
Thanks, Gavin Newsom.
It's not even funny.
No, it's not. It's sickening, is what it is. And speaking of which, Gavin Newsom, if you will bring up the Watch Together link here for a moment.
It's independence.
He's now running. We talked about this earlier briefly. He's running ads in Florida, encouraging Floridians to escape to wonderful, beautiful California.
Hold on. Why the hell do I not have this up? Oh, hold on.
No problem. I knew you had the link because I can see it in here.
Why can I not see this? This is really annoying to me.
Oh well, I'll send you the link again. You're in the thingy, but
I looked up 23 billion just so I got the numbers right.
It's absolutely
like 23 billion. Like, yeah, it is.
I did miss your super chat, Keza. Hang on.
Why the hell can't I
wait,
see
no.
this?
No. Keza, hang on. Oh. No, I thought I read that. That's how many. Wait, that was Ardent Party. Keza, which one did you send? Which one did I miss?
Oh, there we go.
Who wants to make the UN a victim of
everyone?
Victim of famine. Oh, who wants to make? Who wants to make the UN a victim of famine? Vote in the Discord server.
There we go.
And I did. I think respond to that. And I put up the poll. And then Kizza says for another £5. Thank you, Kizza. Sorry if I did miss something. I can go through later. California should be put under a dome like in the Simpsons movie and leave it 12 months, then colonize with pure Anglo supremacy. Very based.
That's not a bad idea, actually.
Yeah.
I'm totally in favor of that.
Thank you, Kizza. So let's watch Gavin Newsom's ad to get Floridians to leave Florida. Their horrible, repressive Florida for beautiful, liberal California, California, whatever. There you go.
Independence Day. So let's talk about what's going on.
Let's talk about it.
California's governor with a
is this
message.
Oh my God! I thought this was an actual
all of you living
thing.
in Florida to join the fight.
And Gavin Newsom makes.
Oh my God! Hang on. I'm sorry. I thought this was the actual fucking ad. Fuck you, Fox. This is what I hate. It's like I'm trying to just find the goddamn ad. Okay, forget. Oh.
We are currently experiencing technical difficulties.
No, I hate this crap where it's like, can I just please find the video?
And stop
and then
being gay.
And they won't play the goddamn video. It's just a bunch of news sources.
The Biden administration has been exporting U.S. strategic oil reserves.
God, that's infuriating. Every single one. Okay, wait. Okay. This one's actually got the ad, which is uninterrupted. You just have to okay.
Oh
this one's got it.
Biden has actually been selling the strategic oil reserves. Biden has actually been selling the oil reserves.
Oh, I'm not really.
Like exporting
by that. I'm not shocked by that at all. Oh God, I hate that stuff. Okay, I got the actual video. This is the thing. It should be. I'll try this.
In America, freedom, it's under attack in your
state.
It's
under attack? It's under attack because you're allowed to own firearms? Oh, it's under attack. Your freedoms are under attack because you're allowed to own firearms. It's your freedom, your literal liberty, your Second Amendment right. But your freedom's under attack because you're allowed to own firearms.
Leaders, they're banning books, making it harder to vote, restricting speech in classrooms.
Nope. By the way, I know the stock footage website they're using because I use it too.
Even criminalizing women and doctors.
Based.
Oh no. Yeah, based.
The ad goes on to encourage.
There apparently is no way to find this ad. All right, I don't care. Fuck this. It's all just Fox News trying to get money off of it. That's enough.
I'd rather the money go to Fox and Newsom.
I know. It's still frustrating though. It's weird that you can't find the freaking ad. You can only find it with
marginalized children. They make it sound like the Florida is the white utopia.
Also, Durnegi for 5 says, 6% vote no to starving the UN, 94% why are you gay?
Who are the 6% who voted not to starve the UN?
Oh, that's all right.
Get out of my
So-
chat. Get out of it. If you don't want to start the UN, you're not a friend of mine. Get away.
Real quick though, speaking of, this is our last little bit on California.
Oh God.
While
Oh
this
yeah,
is
this
happening,
is pretty based.
right? While this is happening, well,
No,
do you have
based
any
for
other
wrong
points
reasons.
about DeSantis, the loser, running ads in Florida? He's not running in Florida. That's desperation, the likes of which I've never seen.
Yeah, I feel
You were
like if
running-
I don't know how you can say that. Like, this is the bit that I don't get. You are trying to make the case that your state is freer. People left your state to go to Florida. How is your state freer? They were free to fuck off from your state, which they did.
That sounds like some "please come back."
Yeah, that's
kind of crap, you know.
yeah, that's not saying the state's bad. That's you begging on your hands and knees like a bitch to get people to return because you fucked
It's
up your own
astonishing.
state, you dumbass.
I know, it's astonishing. So
What a
Yeah,
moron.
it's
As
sickening.
plastic as his head.
While he is, I mean, that inflation thing. We're going to give you money for inflation. That one's truly that is a real
Yeah, that is a
like,
next level moron.
70 IQ. Oh, because I didn't see that at all. I'm gonna have to go back and.
Wait, who's she? The UN? The Dutch or
Could
the
you read?
pigs?
Could you read this article about the Zero Hedge article? Because I have to go back through and try to find that super chat because it got
San
lost in the
Diego
system.
is witnessing the largest exodus of police officers. Why am I sounding like fucking the younger version of Gandalf? Officers from the city since 2009. Yeah, because that's what California needs. Spoon, why do they build these buildings as the most effective missile targets? I don't know, actually. That's a good point. Maybe because missiles should hit them? I wouldn't be opposed. Perhaps the smartest move of the people of Los Angeles County ever made was to elect Sheriff Alex... That's the name I'm not even going to bother trying to pronounce. Who refused to
Real quick,
enforce...
Kiza, that didn't go through. At least it didn't. It has. I have no record of that in the whole activity of YouTube. So I don't. If YouTube just stole your money, holy shit! I'm sorry, but it didn't come through to me. So
Dutch
I have.
pigs eat them? Yeah, I agree. The Dutch pigs should eat them.
I have no idea what happened there. Sorry, I didn't see the message. I don't have access to it. Anywho, so, if you got charged for that, see if you can try to, like get that refunded because it did not come through to us. So thanks, Susan. Thank you. Love it. Anyway, sorry. Continue. I'm stinky.
Let's see. The decision...
I could use a break on my voice too.
Yes, the decision probably saved them from losing a quarter or more of their law enforcement officers within the sheriff's department. Contrast this with the LAPD, which was not so lucky. Officers have quit in droves or were fired, with over 2,200 employees, refusing to comply. You really know how to run a state, California, you fucking retards. This has been a repeating situation across California, and again, brilliant state. It's a wonder why you lost people going to Florida. I can't imagine why. And San Diego is the latest region...
Really quick. I don't know about this. Before you continue, DK brought up a good point. I highly doubt this is the case because I'm sure it's his own private funds. But is Newsom using California government funds or to run his ads in Florida?
Yeah, probably.
That would be an interesting... If he is, that's... Ooh. Sorry, continue, Spence.
That's horrible, but also quite funny.
Yeah.
He's trying to quote the people he lost with their own tax dollars. Fuck's sake. Let's see. This has been a repeating situation across California, and San Diego is the latest region to suffer considerable losses of LEO over vax mandates. More than 230 San Diego police officers have left city employment in the 2022 fiscal year alone. 252 sworn deputies in 2001, totaling around 22% of all deputies in active service. God damn. Why?
I mean, it's not like California's enough of a shithole already. Well, they wanted to fund the police. Look, now they're leaving.
It's just goes to show you
They're
that-
leaving over the vax mandates. So
Yeah.
you didn't even have to defund them. They just left of their own accord.
Fucking hell. City officials are scrambling to increase incentives to lure new officers into the ranks. Here's an idea. How about you are allowed
do you
to
think they
fucking
might
prosecute
have
criminals?
to pay them? Do you think they might pay them more to incentivize them?
How about
Uh-oh.
you can shoot people who steal?
No, they can't do that.
No, but I'm saying if you could, you would instantly reduce crime. You would instantly reduce
Yeah,
petty
no
theft.
shit.
Shoot to kill. Businesses would actually come back to Florida or to California, by the way, if you did that. I mean, you might have a cleanup crew because to
California
kill
is bleeding because it is so incredibly corrupt and broken.
How about it
system.
bleeds the criminals? Otherwise known as the politicians. Let's see.
Yeah, Arden says, I hope those Leos move to Uvalde, Texas, and replace the Uvalde police force. Well, I don't know if they're any better, but they can't be worse, I would imagine.
Yeah. Wasn't it it was a Border Patrol agent who shot them?
Yep.
Yeah, genius. City officials are scrambling to increase incentives to lure new officials into the ranks, including the approval of a 10% pay rise. How about make it 20%, considering you just pumped fucking 25 million
but
this is
the defund the police state.
Yeah. Yeah, isn't that quite funny?
How
oh my
interesting.
goodness. Aiden, did you know that if you stop prosecuting criminals, crime rises?
What?
I know, it's shocking, right?
No way.
Yeah.
I'm shocked. Well, not that shocked.
Not that shocked. No, it's California after all. But many within the department were well aware that this outcome was looming. Yeah, no fucking shit. I wonder why. Officials now say replacing deputies as fast they exit will be impossible. It's almost like California is a really mismanaged shit state.
Yeah, weird that, huh?
Yeah, no. Meanwhile, the lack of officers has led to horrendous wait times for emergencies. Yeah, I wonder why. Yeah, it's almost like if a whole bunch of police officers leave and crime is massively not prosecuted as much, there's more criminals. It's funny how that works.
It do be like that.
What's your chance of being caught for a crime? About 60% less. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take my chance and commit a crime. Yeah. Especially when inflation is really fucking sky high. Again, this has to be deliberate sabotage. You cannot be this fucking stupid. Like, I don't care how big... Really? You think they're this dumb?
I don't like. It's always the dumb or evil argument. It's somewhere in between, I think, usually.
There's a good quote from a politician's name. I can't remember now. Where he said, "In America, we have two parties: the stupid party and the evil party. I'm thankful to be part of the stupid party. Occasionally, we get together with the evil party to do something both stupid and evil. It's called bipartisanship."
Great. Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I'm not a Republican, but I'd rather associate with the Republicans who do nothing than the actively evil Democrats. So,
but the thing is, their do nothing is only horrendous because the other party is doing something bad. Like, if they were to just do nothing and nothing was pushing against them, they would be all right.
Yeah, it wouldn't be an issue if the other party was not trying to do evil, you know?
A solution to the crime is to chop off their hands with a chainsaw and live stream it. There's people who would watch that.
Well, for sure, on Live Leak, absolutely.
Yeah, just line up a whole bunch of criminals. Except given the makeup of California, it'll be overwhelmingly one race.
Yep.
Yeah. And then people will scream racism.
Yes, they will. That's all they really have, and it's not working anymore.
No. It's quickly losing terror. Jared Wilson, president of the San Diego police officer, I almost read that as Asian, says that the COVID mandates were the breaking point for many deputies. I wonder why. This is not at all surprising. The aggressive nature of California's enforcement of COVID vaccines, as opposed to the fucking law, is rather bizarre, given that most of the rest of the country has moved on and abandoned mandates altogether. Wait, California still has COVID mandates in the books?
Yep.
What?
Yep. Yeah.
And like you have more regulation and more oppression, but you're saying Florida is a bad state. Like,
I know. It's astonishing.
California.
But no, come back to California, please. We're bleeding citizens, and in fact, the people that they're bleeding are the people who are able to move, which means the people who pay the taxes.
Yes.
Right.
Who all went to Florida, and then Florida's like, "Hey, look, you know what? You know what? Florida doesn't have Florida doesn't have a budget problem. I wonder why."
No, I worry that so many people are leaving Florida to go vote for the same garbage that has created the situation and the scenario that they're in as to why they left California, and they're going to go vote for the same crap in Florida and Texas.
I don't think they're all that bad, though.
No, but I think that's why I said that 5-year waiting period on voting, because I think you should have to try to understand, like, there's a reason why California is going down the drain as fast as it is. It's because of the things that you voted for. Don't just leave and then vote for the same crap.
We have Dutch people in the chat. Greetings, people from fellow
definition of
Dutchland.
insanity. Doing the same action over and over again and expecting a different result. Cease.
Yeah, it's just amazing. It's the attitude once again. Oh, what the hell was I talking about? Oh, I got distracted. California's political inclinations are dominated by Democrats and the left, which is why the state is shit. And it seems that once they decide they want something, they aren't going to stop until they get it, no matter how unnecessary. Yeah, that's progressive politics in a nutshell.
There you go. That's it.
Yeah. This attitude once again shows that such mandates are more about control than about public health or safety. No shit. Given that they are costing major California cities a large percentage of their police force at a time when homicide rates are rising by 70% and property crime rose by 7% overall, climbing to pre-pandemic levels after lockdowns kept the public indoors in 2020 and most of 2021. Economic declines within the state are likely to lead to even more criminal activity, I wonder why, and city residents are starting to question the anti-police rhetoric. Jesus Christ, I wonder why. A rhetoric of many far-left representatives. There have already been major political upsets with a progressive district attorney recalled in San Francisco, good man, and a former Republican candidate elected for mayor in Los Angeles. Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, although Newsom's recall was completely shut down, so
yeah,
sad side.
It would seem that crime, rather than COVID, is now at the top of the worry list of the average Californian, but sitting leaders still don't seem to get it. Yes, no, they do get it. They just don't give a fuck. They know. They get it. They don't care.
You're right. They don't care. They don't care.
They simply don't give a shit.
I thought, moving out of our little California segment here, we talk about the ongoing happenings involving SCOTUS. So
Clarence Thomas and Samuel Alito are single-handedly saving the entire nation.
They are. I don't want to go through too much of this article, but essentially the left has declared war on SCOTUS.
Yes,
because they perceive SCOTUS as having declared war on them.
They're also incredibly retarded people.
Yes.
Like so there's no nice way to say this, but those who oppose the Supreme Court, you are stupid, subhuman IQ fish. Like, I'm serious. Like, I've read some of the articles.
Goldfish people. You have the memory span of a goldfish, and I've talked about this. It's people only have so much capacity cognitively to pay so much attention to so many things at one time.
Yes,
and the result of that is that you have goldfish memory for the majority of the populace.
It doesn't take a genius to recognize that, no, all that the SCOTUS decision did was said, this is not under federal protection, this will be kicked back to the states where you can vote on it. Like, yes, because I find it really funny that these people scream all damn day long about democracy, but the second that democracy has to be enacted to get what they want, suddenly they hate democracy.
They do not like democracy if the things don't go their way. No,
it's because it's not very popular. But here's what someone please explain it to me, because I do not understand this.
Hang on, they would say it's not democracy because SCOTUS ruled on it and they didn't vote on it. So it's only democracy if they vote for it.
But you can vote on it. That's the thing.
Really asking. Yes, they're asking for a direct democracy, which, as we've known throughout the entirety of human history, direct democracy is a complete nightmare and an untenable political
hellhole
organization, untenable political system. Also, Kizza for another £5. Thank you so much, Kizza. Says Democrats are mentally ill and therefore shouldn't be able to vote equals pure Anglo supremacy.
I actually agree
a lot of
with
them are Anglos. I mean, like, if you wanted to make it so that you had to pass a competency test to show that you weren't insane, I think you'd. I mean, I'm sure many of us here have seen.
If you're too mentally ill to own a gun, you shouldn't be able to vote.
Well, I'm sure you've seen the charts that have shown that the rates of mental illness in Democrats and left-wing people is something like 5. It's not that. I think it's 3 times the rates of Republicans.
Well, yeah, of course that makes sense. Because they're not sane.
The argument that they have made, because they've seen this data as well, is that, people in left-leaning areas are just more aware of mental health, so they're more likely to get checked out, and that's why the numbers are so inflated. I'm not really sure.
I don't believe that.
That's not that, but let's be clear, that is a plausible alternative hypothesis. I just don't think it's a realistic one.
I just don't believe that one, yeah. I like the way that... Now, let's just say that's true. I have a dissenting question. Why do they go get checked out? Well,
again, 2 possibilities. 1, because there's a problem, or 2, because it's more acceptable in those states, and in fact in vogue to be mentally ill.
Or it's because they feel that something is wrong, whereas the right-wing conservative people don't feel that way.
I said it's one or the other. it is in vogue in left circles to be mentally ill because it's a oppression point. So particularly if you're a white male, let's say, you are very, very low. You are at the lowest rung of the progressive stack. So then you would want to maybe add a mental illness onto there so that you would be higher in the progressive stack.
Yeah, like Robo just said, like, why do they feel need to get checked out? You don't do that unless you feel something is wrong. Whereas conservatives don't fucking do that because they don't think something is wrong.
Unless you want to be higher on the progressive stack. That would be, again, the alternative hypothesis.
Think it a race change.
In this article from American Prospect, Supreme Court stages a coup.
American Prospect, really?
I think you sent me this article as well.
Did I?
I think so.
I sent you something from American Prospect?
I went through our Discord chat and I thought I saw this one in there, but I could be.
Hold on, let me
maybe
see.
I found it. I don't remember.
If I ever, why can't I link? Hold on. Why isn't this popping up?
The title is Supreme Court stages coup against government regulation. It's a coup, another coup, but this time the Supreme Court is doing it against.
Did I send you something
people.
this gay? I'm terribly sorry.
I don't know if you did, or maybe I just found it. So this is not about Roe v. Wade. This is about West Virginia v. EPA.
Oh yeah, this is probably why I sent this to you.
Yeah,
because that actually is very important. That's way bigger than Roe versus Wade.
It is actually way more important because this means that the federal government, again, this was kicked to the states. The federal government can't basically run the states as it comes to this green energy crap,
or any acronym agency.
Yes. And that's the implication of the ruling. It's not in the direct ruling. But the implication is that no federal agency can tell a state what to do on that kind of level. Which
puts a huge damper on the federal government's power. Like, enormously.
Good.
Like, people don't seem to understand. And I've seen virtually no one cover this. The only one that did briefly was Styx. Like, Tim didn't cover this. I'm like, dude, how do you not? This is way bigger than Roe versus Wade. Roe versus Wade is like fucking nothing compared to this. This is
way bigger.
This is the biggest decision from SCOTUS in like 60 years.
Yes,
seriously.
It has fallen by the wayside because it's less
sexy.
It's less sexy, politically sexy. Sure, that's a way of saying it. But the reality is that it gets the glowies, it gets the federal government out of state decisions, and
but people don't want to know that. But,
awesome.
Yeah.
So what happened with the EPA? Lego my ego. Essentially, the federal agencies
they ruled in favor of West Virginia.
States what to do. Yeah.
Yeah. They said that you don't have the power to regulate. That goes up to Congress is able to.
Dumb country roads. That's it. I'm not doing any more than that.
Yeah.
It's cringe.
But Congress can give them this kind of legislative power, but it needs to go through Congress, not through the EPA.
Yes.
So
they're trying to subvert. Yeah. They're trying to subvert the regular legislative system, as they try to do all the time.
That's not going to happen now, by the way, because Congress is in deadlock. So that's
yes.
Yeah. So which means that if November rolls around, and Republicans murder the Democrats, there's no way in hell they're going to be able to do anything for the next 2 years. They're going to be a lame duck. Which means that if Trump runs in 2024 and he gets in office and the market people sweep the crowd, Trump is going to fucking take a hammer. Because he doesn't have to worry about getting reelected. He can just walk in the joint and just swing his dick like it's a fucking iron hammer and just knock the 7 shades of shit out of everything. The federal government is going to do jack shit because their power is greatly diminished now thanks to this ruling.
Yes. I thought we'd read a couple key points from this article.
By the way, I guarantee you Trump is incredibly happy with this fucking ruling because it makes his job a lot easier.
It sure does. Yesterday, we made what might be the most consequential, awful decision. It's not awful. It's fantastic.
It's great, by the way.
In terms of awful decisions, the court issued a ruling in West Virginia versus EPA that will not only cripple the EPA's power to regulate greenhouse gases in a meaningful way, it could essentially prevent government agencies from regulating just about anything important. Excellent.
I have an erection.
We're a republic, right? The United States is a republic. That means the federal government is supposed to be secondary to states' rights.
Yeah, that's kind of the whole fucking point.
That is the point.
That is the 10th Amendment.
Mm-hmm. Hey, listen to this article, though. Extremist Republican justices were so anxious to kneecap government regulation of businesses that the court took up WV versus EPA.
How is that extreme?
Because they have to use they have to use bombastic language like this to make people upset. They're idiot readers. despite the fact that there's no current rule regulating greenhouse gas emissions from power plants. The Trump admin repealed it in 2019, and the Biden admin has not yet replaced it. So in other words, as they say, SCOTUS ruled on a regulation that does not currently exist, yet they understood was in the works.
I would just
They
take a
cut it
moment,
off at the pass.
take a moment to just salute Mr. Clarence Thomas and Alito and Barrett and all and Kavanaugh. Just like
they
BTF
cut it off at the pass. That's what happened.
Oh,
they saw
great.
what you were doing, and they said, no, thank you.
Yeah, they just went, fuck you. By the way, this would actually be good for the Biden administration. That's the fucking ironic bit.
Yeah, I suppose so.
Oh god, it's funny as shit.
But I love articles like this though because they are funny.
Yeah, it's great.
The
by the way,
state...
Prospect is like far left as shit. By the way, which makes their meltdowns really funny.
It's what makes it funny. They go through, they describe it. It's impossible for Congress, or for that matter, the courts, to have technical expertise and to keep regulations up to date. Corporations generally hate the administrative state since it often regulates their destructive behavior against the public welfare. So in other words, you're too stupid. Just let us decide what to do. Yes. And this is why you're losing, by the way. This elitism is not popular. Okay. It's everyone. But this is a different type of elitism than what you talk about. This is just, nah. I'm better than you. I'm going to even though I have no evidence, you're just stupid. You're stupid. Look at my degree from in feminist dance studies. So I should be able to tell you how to live. As the New York Times recently reported, West Virginia versus the EPA. Oh, sorry, I skipped something. While the Republican Party, the Federalist Society, and their donors have packed the federal judiciary and the Supreme Court with anti-abortion and pro-gun radicals to fire up their base, they're acting like it happened like yesterday. Their real motivation was to eventually undermine government regulations of businesses as much as SCOTUS overruled New Deal legislation in the 1930s until FDR's switch in time to save the nine led to a new direction, which has survived tenuously until today. Unfortunately, it was complete shit. Oh, it's... Yes. He basically removed any semblance of the republic that was left at that point. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Hey, are you muted? Are you muted?
There we go.
Oh my god, you were an interesting speech there, and then it was just me talking.
No. That was very simple. With regards to the FDR administration, the debt that was incurred during the 1940s, if you were to put $100 away every minute from the moment Christopher Columbus set foot on American soil up until the 1940s, you would still not be able to clear all of the debt that was just incurred during those 10 years. Which is fucking insane.
It is insane.
Yeah. And also, people need to be aware, FDR...
Unbelievable.
The two most horrible presidents of the last century were FDR and Woodrow Wilson. Hands down. They were like, and FDR was... Yes, FDR was the...
LBJ working for a third, place slot?
Yeah, but... he's working for a third, yeah. Yeah, the top 5, I would say, of the last 120 years is Biden, LBJ, Carter, Woodrow Wilson, FDR. There's no Republicans in that list. Like, fucking... Nixon's got nothing on these fuckers.
No, it also corrupts. Also, Jornegi for 5 says, "Oh, boo-hoo, we can't tax small businesses out the wazoo. Whatever shall we do?" That was a poem. Beautiful poetry, Jornegi. Less regulations on small businesses, the better. I agree 100%.
Yes.
And Kisma for £5 says, "How ironic feds are mad about the SCOTUS as they can destroy them with merely a pen." Yeah, that's it, because they can't control SCOTUS as easily as they would like, which is why, as we reach the end of this article, we'll see what they want to do to SCOTUS. We already know what they want to do, but it's illustrated in this article.
Isn't it funny that the most base part of the people that are actually saving the country is the unelected SCOTUS group?
Oh, well, that certainly is a little bit of evidence for our position, but
Yes,
I digress.
yes. We're also like, how's democracy working out? Shit, how's the Supreme Court working out? Very, very well.
All right.
Why? Because it's conservative ones whose job it is to uphold the law of the lands. Like,
You're supposed to uphold the law. They're not supposed. They say radical conservatives. Well, they're not supposed to have any politics.
Yeah,
They're
they read
supposed
the
to look at
Constitution and
law.
went like, yeah, this is what the Constitution says.
The reality is, you don't like the Constitution.
Yes.
Writer of this article, whose name is
I made the case because I read
Volgescu.
I read one article, I can't remember who the author was, and they made the case that if you were to look like a seesaw, that the idea of a balanced court is inherently unbalanced, because balancing is unbalanced. Like if you tip it all to one side, it's much more sturdy. And I thought of like, that's a good point. And considering the liberal justices have no intention of abiding by the Constitution the way the conservatives do, I think you can make a case that any conservative justice on the Supreme Court is a threat to the country's stability. Get rid of them. You should only have conservative justices on the court. By law. I would say, if they give you liberal proclivities as a justice, fuck off. Only conservative justice should ever be on the court.
Exactly.
That's my position. And if you're liberal and you disagree with me on that, fuck you.
Well, getting back to this, as the New York Times recently reported, WV versus EPA, quote, is the product of a coordinated multi-year strategy by Republican attorney generals, conservative legal activists, and their funders, emphasis, several with ties to the oil and coal industries, yet...
Yeah, whereas you people don't have like green energy sims for your side, you fuck.
It is so difficult for me to not go off on what I would like to say about coal.
Oh, yeah, because of West Virginia.
It's my home state.
Mama.
If we have some time at the end, I'll read a series of posts I made recently on an anonymous basket weaving forum. Anywho, to use the judicial system to rewrite environmental law, which is based on nothing, weakening the executive branch's ability to tackle global warming. The plaintiffs in the case are funded by the same interests that hand-picked the conservative majority justices. As former senior Justice Department official Lisa Graves states, quote, it's a pincer move. They are teeing up the attorneys to bring litigation before the same judges they handpicked. That's how SCOTUS works.
Yeah, that's kind of their gig.
You would love SCOTUS if it voted along your lines.
Yeah,
that's
you would.
The problem. Exactly. And I'm not going to go through this. There's a bunch more in this article. But I do want to say, I'm going to scroll to the last part. If you scroll down on the article, it says, taking on the Supreme Court. It's the last segment here.
Right. The end of the administrative state. Again, I have an erection.
They're very upset by that.
The court's ruling is really scary. No, it isn't. It's fucking great. It is fucking awesome.
Yeah, let's do this one too. You do the first paragraph, I'll do the second.
Can I please read that, because it makes me very happy?
Yes, do it.
The court's ruling is really scary. No, it isn't. It's fucking great. It almost guarantees that the U.S.
He's shaking. I guarantee that Miles is shaking in his stylish yet affordable boots.
Yes, it almost guarantees that the U.S. will not be able to fulfill its Paris Agreement commitments. Yes, excellent. And makes it more likely that substantial portions of the Earth will become unlivable. California's already unlivable, shut your face. And it's scary for another reason too, no it isn't. By ignoring Chevron deference and invoking a new and expanded major questions doctrine, the court goes a long way towards crippling the federal government from doing just about anything. Fuck yes! Why is that bad? Please explain to me why that is bad, because like, you're just removing so much power from the federal government, which means...
Because they want all the power in the federal government so they can
also means you'd have less taxes
on you.
You'd have less taxes. Like, you do realize
these are tyrants.
Yeah, but you do realize this is priming Trump. Like, this is priming Trump for taking a hammer to the federal government.
I hope he does.
Like, do you realize like this is like if Trump comes back in and he's only got 4 years, he's like, I can destroy the federal government because there's essentially no reason for you to exist. No, I do, because this is what Trump and Bannon wanted to do in the first place. This ruling has Bannon salivating. Bannon goes to bed every night with a hard-on because of this ruling. I guarantee you.
I know he does.
Bannon is looking at this going like, if we can get Trump in right now, we can fucking destroy the federal government. Like, this is like... This is the dynamite has been set in place, and he's just like, I just have to press one. I just have to press one. Just get Trump in there, and I can blow this place to shit to pieces.
Yeah, it would be fantastic if that's the case. I don't trust Trump anymore. I don't know.
I trust Trump.
We've talked before as to why I don't want DeSantis, because I want DeSantis to stay in Florida.
I trust Trump more because Trump knows the belly of the beast, and I know what he wants to do. And I also I
did
read
some good things.
but
he also
also
capitulated. But maybe if he gets around too, he'll.
Well,
he's not the kid anymore.
He's
now a seasoned fighter, right?
Yeah, but I also understand that him being in government, his reign was really scatterplace in all the places because no one expected him to win. So they kind of sent him in there as a lone soldier, and he still got a shitload done considering he had no help and he had no idea what the hell he was doing for the most part.
Even his own aides, even the own people he put in place were against him.
Yes.
So
now that they're saying like, okay, look, we have a real shot with this guy. He knows we have to help Trump now to get in. And now all of this, the Supreme Court, because this ruling is because of the people he put on the court. That's the only reason it's happened. So,
which is good.
Yes. So I feel like if he can get into office now again, and he's going to run, his ego is propelling him to run again. Yes. Yeah. And I feel he is in a better position now to run because with Obama coming off, it's really, really bad, and Trump won. Biden is worse than Obama. Way fucking worse. Biden, like he can run and just say, I'm not this guy.
I mean, that's what they ran on for Biden was, well, at least he's not Trump. I think Trump could run on, at least I'm not Biden and win at this point.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like he could do the Biden strategy of 2020. Like I'm not him. Because like Trump be like, I'm not him. Remember how nice
it was when you were making more money, when gas was really cheap, when food was cheap?
Do you remember how we didn't fund the war? Do you remember how the petrol prices
were low? Remember how there were no wars?
Remember we didn't have an inflation? Remember how the country was better in literally every single way when I run it? Yeah. You'll win.
And what Kizza just said for £5 is, what we need from Trump in 2024 is what Doom Guy did to hell when he turned up. The only thing they fear is him.
That's true, though.
Very true, honestly.
Yeah.
You want to finish this segment?
And this is why Douglas Murray needs to shut the fuck up about Trump.
I know you're upset, but I understand why.
Yes, because I expect better from Douglas Murray. I'm like, Douglas, this is the stupidest thing you've ever said.
He's just got TDS, man. He's got TDS.
He's got really bad. Like, you're British. I expect more from you, for God's sake. So the court stuck with Trump's appointees. There we go. Because the rest of the stuff is basically...
Just 3 is a lot.
Yes.
But still.
Well, 3 is a third of the court.
Yes. I mean, it is a third. It is a lot. I'm denying that.
And they're also young justices. They'll be there for decades.
But don't. Like, if Kavanaugh is broken... I think Kavanaugh's broken. I don't really trust ACB. And then the other one was...
Gorsuch.
Oh, shoot. I always forget. Gorsuch.
Yes. Alito is the best one.
Oh, Alito, yeah. Alito is doing the best out of all of them.
Yeah, Alito and essentially Alito and Clarence are leading the joint. And I also think that there's a case of them saying like, look, this is what you're expected to do.
I think it might be because Kavanaugh, I think it's broken, but I think that maybe, Gorsuch, ACB, and Kavanaugh are all freshmen.
New bloods, yeah.
So they're maybe afraid
whereas Alito and Clarence Thomas are, Clarence Thomas doesn't give a fuck.
No, and he hates Biden. Because Biden called him a rapist.
Yes. I also feel like that is probably... I'm not saying that there's an element of revenge.
Oh, I think there... And by the way, like, yes,
but I hope there is, because it's really funny.
Well, the court is supposed to be impartial, obviously. But I would not blame Clarence Thomas for taking some revenge on the man who called him a rapist.
No,
hey, actually, would you mind doing both segments? Because I'm going to use the restroom real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay, yes. So the courts start with Trump's appointees now have the weapon they need to strike down any regulation they don't like. Why is this fucking bad? People need to understand. Any regulations involves giving more money to the government, and anything that they use to enforce regulations involve your fucking taxes. That makes life more difficult. Less regulations, less involvement in the state, less taxes. That is a better for everyone involved, except politicians. But fuck them. This is a recipe for grinding the gears of government to a halt. Fantastic. The major negative. Why government fucking sucks. With major negative implications for vulnerable people of all kinds. Shut your fucking mouth, you dirty whore. Not to mention a windfall. That's not what I sound like in bed, by the way. Not to mention a windfall for plutocrats. Sorry. Yeah. Taking on the court, great. By overturning Roe versus Wade, restricting the EPA's authority to fight climate change, which doesn't exist, expanding the Second Amendment, which is fine, constitutional, Eviscerating the separation of church and state, great, because you fuckers need more morality, you child molesting bunch of pricks. And undermining the Fourth Amendment, the radical Supreme Court, which is just old school constitutionalism, has effectively implemented key sections of the Republicans' platform. Great. And they have done so with novel and badly reasoned legal rationales. Yes. Except they haven't. They've just followed the Constitution, the rule of law. They have shown that they're effectively politicians in black robes who have governed by the Constitution, which you fuckers never seem to do, who have turned the Supreme Court into little more than a super legislative that feels free to make up the laws to fit the Republican agenda. Yes, which is give power back to the states, which again is the 10th Amendment. Right. Public support for the court is at an all-time low. I think that depends who you poll. I think if you were to poll red states, they would find it overwhelmingly favoring the Supreme Court. According to Gallup
poll, public support for the president is at an all-time low.
Yes.
So
I think if you were to say who do you have more confidence in, the Supreme Court or the presidency, I think most people would say the Supreme Court.
The polling they're citing here is saying that it's independent. So they're not citing Republicans. 40 to 25% independents and 30 to 13% in Democrats. That's because you're not getting what you want. And I'm sorry that, like, if you're not getting what you want, you can't always get what you want. And the Republicans, it went up by 2%. That's because the Republicans don't trust anybody. Because why would they?
Yeah, because look what happens when you fuckers get power. You either do nothing or you allow the left to steamroll you.
Exactly.
Oh, there we go.
That last paragraph, though, if you will, this is what they want. This is again, this is a leftist outlet. This is what they're actually asking for. This is the key point.
Yeah, so if there was ever a time to challenge this court's radical rulings, whether through passing laws overturning wrongful statutory interpretations, expanding the number of justices, proposing a supermajority overturn law, or limiting judicial review, now would be the time. Otherwise, expect more extreme rulings like this. So basically, if we don't get our way, change the entire system of government, which is not tyrannical at all.
No, and also overturning wrongful statutory interpretations. You mean like Roe v. Wade?
Yeah, that's what that is.
Wrongful statutory interpretation? Yeah, how cute. So it involved with the stuff regarding SCOTUS. I wanted to. Don't fall asleep on me yet. I'm up, man. I got things to talk about tonight.
But sleepy spoon.
Just don't get sleepy, or I'll have to run the show myself.
But
I'm up and I'm fired up, man.
But sleepy spoon.
Don't be sleepy. It's not even 11 o'clock yet. You ding dong.
Is it not? Oh wow.
Spoon, go drink a coffee then.
No.
Have a tea.
No.
Oh, I can talk for a bit.
No.
Okay. Slap yourself in the face a little bit. Wake up. We got shit to go through. I'm fired up. I got the power of God and anime on my side. I'm real fired up. Speaking of which, on the SCOTUS decision stuff, though, this article and story hasn't been passed around, and it makes me want to scream. Do you have this up?
No.
I posted it to you?
Why do I have to have
I sent it to you several times before because I yelled it at you about it in text for like 2 days.
Oh. Oh, yeah.
I hate this. But I have a lot of things to say about it. So, when Roe v. Wade was overturned, now we went over a couple weeks ago the data on who gets abortions and why. And the reality was that it was about 96 to 98% elective or no reason given. Okay?
I want to see if I can make the chat say something.
The reality is that the vast majority of abortions, between 96 and 98%, are no reason given or because of economic or personal reasons, okay? Not because of rape, not because of incest, not because the baby's life was in danger, the mother's life was in danger. It's totally elective, okay?
Yeah, like about 95% of it.
About not, let's say we'll take that's lower than it actually is, but we'll take that average based on the Florida data. Let's say it's 95% elective. Immediately after Roe v. Wade comes out, we get this article. This is from The Hill, but this has been going around. This went viral. This story went super viral. Okay? of, oh no, this is what we warned you about. A 10-year-old girl denied abortion in Ohio. Now, Spoon, I have a question. What is the most prescient concern for you when you read that headline? Is it that I'm not gonna give any more information. What are you most concerned about with this headline?
The fact that a 10-year-old got raped.
Yeah.
Yeah, the abortion argument doesn't concern me. It's the fact that the 10-year-old kid got raped.
The abortion part doesn't bother me as much as the fact that we're talking about a 10-year-old being raped. Okay, that part bothers me.
Move to Florida? I don't think I would do. I probably would like the weather in Florida, actually.
It is nice. So even after, by the way, this came out on the 2nd of July.
Can you see the stream right now?
Huh?
Can you see the stream right now?
I love it. You haven't? Yeah, I'm showing you some of the art. I love that art.
I just wanted to see if I can make the chat go,
It's adorable. We could use that instead of the art that Penny did, but that's great. Very based. Oh, did you put up the one before last week of you being in Twitter jail?
Oh, the YouTube jail?
YouTube jail, not Twitter. You're always in Twitter jail.
Yeah, I'm permanently out of Twitter. You can speak. Let me see if I can find it. It's here somewhere.
Okay, so real quick, the article. A 10-year-old girl was denied an abortion in Ohio after Supreme Court ruled last week it was overturning Roe v. Wade, demonstrating the tangible impacts that the High Court's decision is having on patients seeking access to a medical procedure. A child abuse doctor in Ohio contacted Dr. Caitlin Bernard, an obstetrician gynecologist in Indiana, after receiving a 10-year-old patient who was 6 weeks and 3 days pregnant, the Indianapolis Star reported. That patient is now heading west to Indiana, given that abortion ban in Ohio, which prohibits the medical procedure when fetal cardiac activity begins around 6 weeks, had become effective quickly after the High Court issued its decision. While several groups filed a lawsuit seeking to block the state law, okay, I don't really care about the rest of it. What the fuck?
Yeah,
this is not an issue of abortion. This is an issue of a child was violated.
Yeah, it is a bit creepy that is a bit to focus on.
The 10-year-old, okay. Where do we start in the weirdness of this story? One, that a 10-year-old has reached sexual development, sexual maturity. That's disconcerting. Two, that a 10-year-old was raped, because unless it's sex with another 10 or 12-year-old or whatever, I don't know. Yeah, you could. Sorry, Mr. Meadman makes a good point. Could you remove the chippies while I'm trying to talk about this really horrifying situation?
Sorry.
And no pants, baby. I think you are correct. Is this a fake story? This story is making major rounds online, and yet there is absolutely no evidence backing it up. There's nothing. There is nothing backing this story up. And I am prone thereby to think it's fake news. I don't believe this. I don't not believe it because of political.
Do you think there's something missing, maybe?
You want to know what I actually think?
Yeah.
For a 10-year-old to become pregnant.
Yeah, that's quite unlikely.
And we don't know anything about it. And the 10-year-old's pregnancy went forward past 6 weeks. I think the 10-year-old was probably raped by her mom's boyfriend. That's my opinion. And I think if you ever hear anything about this story again, which you probably will not, because it will be covered up, is that what most likely happened is the child was raped by a parent or someone in the vicinity of the parents. At 10 years old, that's when this happens.
Yeah,
that's why you're not hearing any other information about this, because it was probably somebody known by the parent. And honestly, why are we talking about abortion? Why are we not having an investigation into the parent of the 10-year-old
responsible? That's probably why.
That's why I think it is.
Yeah, that's probably the case.
Why is it the topic about abortion and not the fact that a 10-year-old girl was raped?
Well, I think as far as why that goes, I think that just makes a case for the abortion. That's the reason why. I don't think it's anything nefarious. I think it's just a case to prove their point.
And we've talked about this before, is that I am accepting of abortion in certain instances. It doesn't make it morally permissible. But first of all, a 10-year-old, there have been cases of births even from really, really young girls, I guess young as 8, I believe, is like the most extreme situation.
Jail
It's like
spoon is a harmonica.
yeah, horrifying stuff, right? It can happen, but I would say that the life of this child
Two wrongs don't make a right is what they're trying
pregnant,
to push here.
it is going to be under serious threat by being pregnant and going through with a pregnancy. So I would say that alone is enough. Secondly, this is a very young child who cannot consent in any possible way. And that's another reason. It doesn't make it good to end the life of another, of someone else, of another child. But at the same time, this is a fuck scenario. They are using this as a political cudgel. And I find that if it's true, and I don't believe it's true, by the way, I think it's fake. But if true, I think that probably I think it's almost undeniable that the parents must have known about it in some way, and yeah. I find it morally reprehensible on every single level.
Yeah, so it's
the girl should have an abortion. And by the way, here's the thing: the laws in this, as they state, would actually would actually still allow this because of all the extenuating circumstances, even in Ohio, I believe. Do you want to know what I think? Do you want to know my really, really, really black-pilled opinion on this particular case?
Mm.
The girl, when this happened, it was on the 2nd, when this was reported, which I would assume would be the day or day or two after the abortion was completed in Indianapolis, is almost exactly 6 weeks after the Roe v. Wade opinion came down. Or no, not since it came down, but since it had been announced in the news. My really black-pilled opinion? Do you think that they intentionally raped this child to use as a political point?
Nah, that's too much. I don't think that's the case.
It's too. I know it sounds super evil, but I can't put anything past these people.
No, that's ridiculous. That's
a mother who wants media attention wouldn't allow her boyfriend to rape her daughter to get media attention.
If there was media attention, her name would be in it.
That's true.
Yeah, so that doesn't make sense.
It's just it is almost to the day 6 weeks after the leak of the Supreme Court opinion came out. It is to the day almost.
It's definitely a family member. It's definitely a family member because like, 10 years old, it's very unlikely to be someone outside who could like kidnap the kid. Like, no, it's a family member.
Her other, other students in her grade wouldn't be able to. That it's not how that stuff works.
Yeah, no.
But males that age don't produce semen. It's insane. I'd hit X on it. You're probably right, on suspenders, but I mean, it's so evil. But I had to think like it was almost to the date 6 weeks. So after the leak of the Supreme Court opinion, and my head immediately went.
I don't think it's that bad.
My head went 6 weeks to the date of the release of the document of the leak. Are people that evil? Yes, they are. I hope that's not the case, but I wouldn't put it past people. I hope I'm wrong. I hope I'm very wrong on that. And Kids for £5 says, anyone who doesn't take issue with the fact that a 10-year-old girl was raped, destroyed straight execution via railgun, changed my mind. That's the key issue should be a 10-year-old girl was raped. That should be the key issue, not the abortion part. Thank you. Okay. To wake you up, Spoon, since you're being sleepy, can I give you some Mika Brzezinski?
Oh, God.
Over here. Over here in the watch together. Mika and Joe over here. Wake up and suffer, Spoon. It's not even 11 o'clock yet, Spoon. What are you doing? This is what happens when you don't have your tea, is it?
Shut your face. It's not my tea. I had food and beer. And I've been up since like 6 o'clock in the morning.
I know. I'm just poking at you.
Hopeless.
That story makes me want to vomit. The one we just got through. So here's some rage in a different direction, where we can just laugh at Mika Brzezinski being an idiot. Ready? Mm-hmm. Let's go. It's only 3 minutes. 4 minutes.
And welcome to Morning Joe. It's Monday, June 27th. Mika,
If I have to watch you, Joe, it's a bad morning.
Always.
You have been on the phone all weekend, as have I, from people calling. Obviously, a lot of grave concerns, and I must say, grave concerns even among those who are pro-life and have been pro-life.
Name me a single person who is pro-life who is concerned about the Supreme Court ruling. Name me even fucking one, you lying bastard.
Lies.
That's such crap.
Throughout their own lives.
No, they don't, you liar.
Concerned about the fact that you have young women, victims of rape, victims of incest, that because of this rule.
Yeah, that accounts for like what, less than a percentage of abortion?
Less 0.05. Okay?
That's it?
Yes.
Wow, that's really minuscule.
In many states are going to be forced to carry the rapist child to term. That's just the reality, and
no, it isn't.
That's what we
and they're probably most of them are going to have, again, laws put in place to prevent that kind of stuff.
Yeah, and more is coming.
So stop lying.
I've been hearing from women all over the country and even around the world.
Why the hell do you care about those people's opinions?
Because people who have any idea of what this actually means in America are not upset by it.
Yeah, probably true.
This is devastating, and they
doesn't affect them. Shut up, foreigners. I say that as a foreigner, but I was approving of the situation, so I don't give a shit.
Ask me what we can do, and
you know it's bad if you're pro-choice and you're pro this decision.
It's just logical.
Well, it's not only that; it's because that we can be pro-choice. But it is very difficult to defend the position because everyone who is pro-choice has defected into pro-abortion. And the people who are pro-choice, like, yeah, we're not in favor of you glorifying this, you fucking psychotic weirdos.
I've got 2 words.
Yeah, I don't envy your position on that, honestly.
Yeah.
Please vote.
Please vote for more Republicans.
It was Winston Churchill who said that democracy is the worst form of government except all the others that have been tried.
Which is not true, by the way. Winston Churchill was actually an aristocrat. He was one from the Victorian era. He was in favor of the monarchy.
And the same might be said of the Democratic Party at this point.
By the way, this is the funniest thing and also one of the most self-defeating, stupidest things I've ever heard.
Democrats somehow manage to get the most votes and lose the most elections, so they need more.
Okay, if you win the most elections and then you lose them, that tells me you weren't competent handling power. So, if you're admitting that you can't handle it very well, please explain to me why the fucking hell anyone should vote for you.
Yeah, exactly.
Serious question, Democrats, you fucking suck. Like, the 5 worst presidents of the last 120 years were all Democrats. Every one of them. Hell, fucking LBJ left office with a 36% approval rating. 36%. That's lower than Biden's. It was so bad, he served 1 term. Sound familiar?
Actually, I'm not sure it is. I think Biden's at 38%.
Yes, but 36 is LBJ's. That's what he.
So I'm saying he's headed there rapidly to beat LBJ.
Yeah.
Even when they win, they lose. It could be.
Which doesn't make any sense, by the way.
Argued that today's Democrats are too weak, too fragile, too woke, too elitist.
All good reasons why no one should ever vote for them. You just said these people are elitist, out of touch, and they're too woke. Is that maybe the reason why you're sucking? Is because of those things? So you want to give these more people, or you want to give these people more power? Why? You just made a perfect case for why not to vote for them. You fucking stupid blonde bitch.
Too disconnected from the realities of working Americans, and yet the Democratic Party is the world's last best hope against fascism.
I can't. I'm sorry, I can't.
I need that like background music of like wah 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 wah.
Wow.
Yeah, I need that.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so, Mika.
I need that with like a slow zoom in on her face and just ends with dunce written across her forehead.
You're
what
not
the
popular.
fuck?
That's the thing. That's what it's like. Okay, so she has to start out with like this little like talk up of the fucking group. I've got my rose lemonade Fentmans. It's not even alcohol, but and fucking talk up the Democrat Party and be like, well, why am I not 10 points ahead? Because you suck. When you actually get into power, you destroy everybody's lives and make them miserable. That's why.
I just don't understand this. How these people can say they're too elitist, they're out of touch, they don't care about the working class, and they're essentially communists. But we're going to defend you against fascism. It's like, what the fuck?
Well, it's also because they don't care about the working class. They have active contempt for the working class.
Yes, you fuck off.
They hate you, man.
Against an extreme, autocratic, anti-woman, anti-gay, anti-contraception, anti-freedom collection
go off,
of
Mika.
fascists.
By the way, the way she said that...
You don't know what the word fascist means, bitch.
The way
you probably do because you are one, but whatever.
The way she just said that makes me think either she's just reading from a script and it was too slow, because I imagine this thing. But when I first heard this, her body language and everything to me just said, I don't think you really believe this.
I had the exact same thought.
I looked at it and like...
we know it's scripted, but...
Yes, but...
Even for them, this appears heavily scripted and fake.
But it's not so much that. I looked at her body language and the way she just said fascist, it's almost like, I'm sick of this narrative. I don't want to keep doing this because this is not working. No one is buying this. No one's listening to us. We're losing credibility.
I mean, there's a couple people who still listen to you, but that's it. They're going to listen to you no matter what because they already believe in what you're peddling.
Yeah.
No one buys this narrative.
Yes.
There's no evidence for it.
Yeah.
Also, Jernagi for 5 says the fact that this whammon can say this with a straight face is nothing short of amazing. I know, isn't it?
Yes.
It's because she doesn't believe it. She is just acting. She's not a very good actress, though. But she's trying her best, I suppose.
We need a technocratic fascist to save us from fascism. Like we actually do. It's so fucking funny. Oh, God.
It's horrifying, right?
Yeah.
Who dominate the Trump wing of today's Republican Party.
Based.
A group of fascists.
That is a word you don't...
You can say that word all you want.
You don't.
This is the thing.
That word doesn't mean anything anymore. It really doesn't.
They think it's their ace in the hole. They can say the word fascist. And just discount everything that any Republican or any conservative says.
They've made it just so vague and useless that you can just
because
say
they
that
use it to apply to literally everything.
Everything, yes, but it also makes it less effective when you just
meaning.
scream fascist anyone who disagrees with you. Like, who's a fascist? Anyone who disagrees with me.
Everyone. Okay, well then it means nothing.
Yes.
Fascism has a specific meaning. And I am not one of those people who goes like, well, the Democrats, the real fascists. But at this point, what are the Democrats, what are they asking for? Oh,
more money.
State control of everything.
Stimulus
of private business, of the people. That's far closer to fascism. They want state, they want the nationalized state to have control over everything.
Yeah, they want to expand the federal government.
Businesses, over the federal government to have control over business, and that is definitionally closer to fascism.
Yeah. Than the pro-business Republicans.
Let's get rid of the spam bot.
Who even refused to investigate the violent riots that their president launched on...
How about all of the violent riots you did for a whole fucking summer, you stupid bitch?
Oh, but these were peaceful.
Yes, while standing in front of a building on fire. That just screams peaceful.
January 6th.
They tried to burn out a courthouse.
No one gives a shit about January 6th. No one. And Trump was not going to overthrow the state. That's just stupidest fucking narrative.
You know, these networks are freaking out because no one's watching their Jan 6 coverage, not even their own viewers, because everybody knows it's fake. Everyone knows it's a complete show trial.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a complete and utter farcical exercise.
I can hear the bubbles in your drink. Even their own
audience knows that. What?
I can hear the bubbles in your drink.
Oh, it's the Fentimans. Fentiman's fantastic. One of the things that there's not many things that I wish that we had in the U.S. or that I'm fine living in the UK, obviously, but I do miss some things from the U.S. But one thing I wish we had in the U.S. that we don't have is Fentimans sodas. So good, delicious. Rose lemonade is my favorite, and then the raspberry, so good, like great sodas. Also, Supreme Kizza for £5 says, that begs the question, what is a woman? I'll tell you, a miserable little pile of gossip. Absolutely.
100% agree, yeah.
Thank you, Dracula.
A legally elected president.
Biden was not duly elected, by the way. I don't care what anyone says.
Yeah, well, I agree. Then Slavkai Nikki for 2 says mostly peaceful fascism. Yeah, that's what they're. that's what it is.
Yeah,
Their fascism is
that's actually
peaceful,
fucking true.
fine.
But am I not the
Allegedly.
only one who looks at this, right? When you see Trump come out and said, if this fucker were to get power, you're gonna have a horrible depression. You're gonna have an economic downturn. You're gonna have sky-high energy costs.
Right about all of it.
Inflation is gonna rock out of fucking control. He was right on the money.
He called it.
Yes,
He called all of it.
Yes, but here's the thing. When you spend 4 fucking years lying about the guy repeatedly, and you do a fucking show trial, no one is going to believe you. Your credibility is shot to shit, for one.
Yeah.
And secondly, when you claim to get, 81 million votes, and then you do this shit.
Yeah.
It makes it look like you didn't really
Looks
win.
like a sore winner, which is bizarre. Aren't you in
Yes.
charge of everything right now?
Yes, and then he
So why are you
complains.
bitching?
He complains that his aides are undermining him. It's like, you're not the president. You didn't win, and no one believes you. Like,
Excuse me, I thought you were in charge of everything, and yet
Yes,
everything
no.
sucked. So you have no one to blame but yourselves.
He's
And everyone can
also not
see
running
that.
anything, by the way.
But also, the thing
Just
is,
let the
everyone
Austrians
can
pay.
see this. Everyone can see this shit. You're in charge of everything, and yet it's a complete disaster.
If you need cue cards to tell you that you take your seat, you're not running a country.
Oh, in caps, you
Yes.
take
Your
seat.
seat, yeah.
So weird, man.
Yeah, that guy's not running the country. If you
No,
need
he's
cue
the president.
cards to when to sit, then you're not running the show. You're not running the show. That much is fucking obvious.
Obviously, yeah.
When you fall off a stationary bike,
I
No,
mean,
shit.
it's good to get caught in it, but no person who's cogent would have. For the rest, I would, but I'm a klutz. So I mean,
Yeah.
That's also why I'm not in public
I wouldn't
politics.
because I'm not a moron.
I'm a complete.
I am
I'm a
also
total putz, man.
I am also far too honest for politics. I've had people say, like, "Oh,
Yeah, I
explain you
know.
should run for office." Like, do you really know how horrible I would be at my job? I would be way too fucking honest.
No, we wouldn't.
I
be
would
able to do
I would
that.
honestly just say, "Look, my coworkers are a bunch of fucking morons who are out to screw you, and I can't stand them. Please get me the hell out of here."
Yeah,
It's kinda shit
exactly.
that I
But
would say.
again, it's why people who actually know what's going on don't run for government, because the people who run for government, and it's why Trump was a
Yeah.
anomaly, because he was just like honest about stuff, and that's why they needed him to be gone, because he was telling the truth.
Yeah.
Why?
And he couldn't be bought off. Go ahead.
Because they are fascists.
You
Nope.
keep saying that word that
You
it doesn't
are.
mean anything.
You keep saying that word. I don't think it means what you think
No.
it means.
And now they're claiming control over your bodies, your health.
What were you doing with the
How about the
NOD?
body of the infant? How about the body of infant? Excuse me, of the fetus, of the newborn, the potential newborn,
That's
new
just
life.
cells.
That it's not just cells. It's a human life. It is genetically human. It will become a person if left
Not
by
for
its own
6
accord.
weeks, it won't.
You are killing humans.
I am
I thought you were against the
making.
death penalty.
Mhm.
And by the way, as someone who
What,
is
do you
pro
think
the
I'm
death
against the
penalty,
death penalty?
I'm saying as someone who is pro the death penalty, the
I was
difference
gonna
is that someone who is given the death penalty is someone who is found guilty of doing such a heinous act with their free will as an adult human being, as a mature human being, that they have to be put to death. A fetus, and let's please stop using the word. I mean, it is a fetus, but it's a
Biden
baby.
is the
okay?
angriest winner in American history. Yeah, that's actually fucking true.
Yes, it's
He's a
it's
miserable
baby.
bastard.
It's a baby, and if you don't like the word baby, it will become a baby if left to its own accord. And you want to basically give it capital punishment for existing. I don't care about any
Trump
of the
should
other
say
issues.
that, by
I
the
know.
way. Your booze mean nothing. I've seen what makes you cheer. Who said that? I know that quote from
Galactic
someone.
Emperor, Schlurm. Your booze me nothing. Yeah, I don't know where that's from. Riley Robo. It
Yeah.
sounds familiar, though. But it's sickening. All right, let's continue.
Rick and
Your
Morty. There we
life.
go. Yes.
Mm.
And they've promised they're coming next to take away your birth control pills. And
no. Stop.
Also,
this
wouldn't.
Is so insane.
I wouldn't actually even care if they did, to be honest.
Well, you know what? I actually am more in favor of it because women don't know what's in birth control.
Here's an idea, ladies. How about you don't behave like the village whore?
Well, okay. So here's
how
the
about
thing.
you find a husband and stop being such a loose sexing slut?
Okay, so I've talked about this before. Most girls are given birth control, and I've seen the data on this.
And also, men learn to pull out.
80%. The data are about 80% of women have been on birth control before the age of 18. Meaning, and I know, having been a young girl at one point in my life, that I was given birth control when I was 13 or 12 years old.
Still are, yeah, by the way.
Huh?
You still are, by the way.
I still are? What?
Young.
Oh, well, mostly. You're just saying that because we're the same age. But,
wow, I was trying to pay you a compliment, you asshole.
It was polite, thank you. I do appreciate that. But,
women.
No, the thing is that, like, no, but you're still going through puberty. And I was given that drug at a very young age when I was 12.
I was talking about me. I was like, fucking confused for a second. I'm not that young. Fucking hell, Jesus.
I was given that drug, and about 80% of girls are recommended to get on birth control from about the age of 12 to 14. CNN Sucks for 2 says, should the U.S. appeal 19th, we repealed 18. I often say repeal 19. I don't think women necessarily have the capacity to make rational decisions as a woman myself. Now, if you could pass a civics test, I would change my mind. I would say, like, I don't think anyone, though, should have the right to vote inherent.
Yeah, we're monarchists.
I put a bunch of stipulations onto who I think should be able to vote.
Landowners.
I think it's landowners, service guarantees citizenship, the Heinleinian model, and passing as a comprehensive civics test. Those are the people who should be allowed to vote. So that, nope, I don't think so. That's
how about your vote matters depending on how much tax you pay.
But I understand that if you think that's fascistic, it's not. I'm just saying people should have the right to vote.
Yeah.
Under a democratic system. I just don't think it should be universal suffrage, because universal suffrage has been a
disaster,
a huge disaster. Yes.
Yeah. Rape it for the rule of a monarch, and so
exactly.
did the Dutch.
Apparently.
Yeah, right before they eat you.
Hang on, I'm gonna go back.
Long live the monarchy! Cheers. Where's the liver?
Let's go back. What does Meek have to say? It's all dumb, but let's hear.
Coming next to take away your birth control pills, and even what you do with another consenting adult in the privacy of your.
No, they're not going to outlaw missionary practices.
It's all lies. It's just they have to catastrophize everything. They have to lie.
I just realized she's got the same hairstyle as Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, she does. Stop lying.
To call Trump's Republican Party and Trump's Supreme Court extreme understates the danger these institutions pose to American freedom, to our democracy.
Your democracy fucking sucks.
That's democracy, that word again, or that term.
Yes,
they always our democracy.
Yeah. It's never democracy. It's never American democracy. It's only our democracy.
That's what they mean when they say that. And by the way, guys, be very clear. Whenever you hear left-leaning organizations or outlets say our democracy, they mean their democracy, which means their political hegemony being in power.
By the way, this still freeze right now, that was my face.
Yep.
It's a very good still freeze, actually.
They are fascists.
No.
Dude, you can stop saying that. That word doesn't mean anything. It really doesn't.
Who have contempt for what 70% of Americans believe about Roe v. Wade, what 90%...
I don't actually think it's that many. I think the polls I saw were more like 60-40, but still.
...of Americans believe about universal background...
I think if you were to ask people, do you think that the state should be able to decide abortion? Most people would say yes.
If they understand what it means, yeah.
But if you just send them,
because again, if you live in California or New York, then you're not gonna. Don't worry, you're fine. You can kill as many babies as you like.
But that's the thing I don't get. Like, if you're in a blue state, nothing is going to change for you. You're still going to have abortion, for fuck's sake.
It's because it's not about that. It's not about that at all. And Journey 845 says Jesus, and I thought Tim Pool's Civil War was a bit much, which I also think it's a bit much. But this is, again, to be fair, look at who Tim Pool is oppositional towards. people who are saying everybody who disagrees with them is a fascist.
Yeah,
All
but
on MSNBC
I made
daytime television.
I made the joke, by the way, that civil war is a temple what fascist is to the left. It's a buzzword.
Yeah, pretty much.
It is. Like,
And-
no offense to Tim, I liked him, but like the whole idea of like the U.S. is going to descend to civil war is like no.
Yeah,
That's-
and
that's
Kids
not
for
gonna
£5
happen.
says our democracy equals our oligarchy. Remember that, my subjects.
Yes.
That is exactly what's happening here. Exactly. Precisely.
Brown checks, and what you believe about your right to control your own body and your life.
It's someone else's body.
So what does Donald Trump's America look like? Joe sort of described it there.
Donald Trump's not in charge anymore, you dumb bint.
By the
In
way,
reality,
Donald Trump's America was significantly better off than Biden's in literally every single fucking manner.
I know, but still, it's not Donald Trump's America right now.
Except this one thing, the Supreme Court was better under Biden.
Mika, it's not Donald Trump's America.
Yeah.
It's Joe Biden's.
Yeah, that's fucking funny.
You
It looks
can't
like-
keep using this excuse.
a 13-year-old rape and incest victim.
Which would be allowed in almost every single freaking state that
Yeah.
has these laws that are going to affect to still be eligible for abortion. So stop lying.
Being ordered by the state
Stop
to
lying.
have a forced birth.
No,
of her
stop lying.
rapist's baby.
You
Stop
can
lying.
just go to a different state.
Yeah, go to a different state and stop lying because it's still legal in most of these states.
I
Stop
kind of
lying.
want to ask the people, the ladies, this is a question for all of you and your fucking batch of lunacy. How often do you plan on getting an abortion that this is so upsetting to you?
Well,
Because if
I've
it's
never
more
had
than once, you're fucked up.
I've never had an abortion, so I wouldn't know.
Congratulations.
Now, to be fair, I have practiced safe sex my entire life. I do also have a disease that makes it very difficult for me to get pregnant. That might be maybe I can't understand as a woman who was completely failed by the female medical system, and in fact was basically a test subject from a lot of it. So maybe I will have a little bit of animus there, and I do.
And maybe,
But I never. I've told this before that like when I've been with a guy that I've been dating for a while and we did have like a condom break or something, I immediately took the Plan B pill because I was like, oh, immediately just to make sure that it wouldn't happen. When I was in college, I took the Plan B pill. That shit sucks. That shit's horrible. If you don't have to take it, don't take it. It totally messes up your cycle.
By the way,
But-
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. As far as this goes, maybe it's because I have a penis and therefore I have more sense. And maybe that's. But I can't understand because when I just heard the news, I went, "Oh, it's just getting past the States." Okay, so that's really all that happens. Oh, okay. And then I saw the reaction. I went, "Jesus fucking Christ!" Like half of you screeching retards literally don't even know what you're upset about. Like what you're bitching about
No.
isn't even happening. It's like, what the fuck.
I
And
know.
something that I noticed that the left does that bugs the fuck out of me is they will, if you have like a red state where the majority don't want abortion and they want to see it outlawed, they hate that. Then democracy is fucking terrible. Then it's, oh, we need to oppress, we need to support minorities. However, if it's something that they want to push and they have perceived majority opinion for it, then they'll say, oh, it's the will of the people. Like, fucking pick a side, you pricks. I
Yeah.
hate when they do that.
I know. Exactly. Exactly. Just that.
What?
That's where we are in 2022.
Oh no, in current year, Mika.
Yes, and at the end of the year, Republicans are going to kill you.
Yeah, you're
Like
well, unless they fortify it a whole bunch, but
no. The fortification is easier to do when it's one person across several states, but when it's literally the entire country or most of them anyway. Because
I don't know. These people are evil. I have no idea what extents they'll go to. And they are trying to engage in a hostile takeover, I believe, a hostile but background takeover of the United States to turn it into their own totalitarian regime under the auspices of we need to save you from totalitarianism by becoming totalitarians.
Yeah,
It's
that's like the Zelensky argument. Oh, we need to protect democracy by outlawing every other one that goes against our regimes. Like, oh, so in order to save democracy, we need to be authoritarians.
Well,
Sound
that's why
familiar?
Zelensky banned Russian-speaking channels, banned Russian-speaking parties. Yeah, So yeah, we need to remove anyone who opposes me in the name of democracy. That's where America's headed right now. We are going to become Ukraine levels of fucking
corruption. Yeah.
Democratic Party's flaws. They're the only party that can stem this continued rise of
No, they can't. They can't even run the country well.
No, and I wouldn't suggest the Libertarian Party either if you really wanted a third party. No. Democrats or Republicans, they both suck, but the Democrats suck way more than the Republicans.
The Libertarian Party got recently swept by a whole bunch of Mises boys.
Because the Libertarian, yes, because the Mises, really the Mises Caucus, the Mises Caucus, very great base, love the Mises Caucus, good on them, love it. So fascism. All on board with the Mises Caucus.
Register and vote, work toward an overwhelming majority that can protect your body.
That's not going to happen, by the way. Like, like you have no fucking shot in hell. Like, everyone knows this. The Democrats are abandoning ship. They're being told you can either get mauled or you can leave because you have no fucking hope in hell of winning. Biden's approval is shot to shit. The Democrats are not popular in any bloody part of the country except in like uber blue areas, in which case it doesn't fucking matter what the hell you do because you'll have a legion of Sims who fucking support you either way. So if you are in the purple state right now, you are fucked.
Yeah, you're exactly. Done. Bye, Mika. She just crying because they suck and they're losing. She knows it.
That's great.
And just may save our country.
This is who we are. A bunch of lying shitheads.
We're well aware of who you are. So
it's great.
Spoon, would you? I know you're sleepy, although you shouldn't be. Will you humor me for about another hour?
You're really pushing your luck.
I'm going to try to push my luck. I would like to move us into our degeneracy section.
Uh-oh.
So, here we go. I have a little article here, which is that Washington State
that's
School
disgusting.
Board Director. Yeah, I say we're going to move into the degeneracy section. And I thought it placed well at the end of the abortion segment of showing you who the people
this woman.
Yes, the people who are crying about abortion, who they generally tend to be.
Why is it always women? What the fuck is wrong with you?
Why do you think I want to repeal 19?
Fucking Christ!
Why do you think I want to? Yeah, the bots in timeout. Why do you think I want to repeal 19? Because look at this. Washington State School Board Director to teach sexual pleasure class to 9-year-olds at sex shop because they want to destroy and mess up your kids' brains. That's why they want to. James Lindsay's been over this in their own research, in their own literature. They talk about this in their foundational literature. But how you have to make everybody messed up in the head to make them be leftists. Because if people are regular, functional, well-adjusted human beings, they won't be leftists. The way you have to create leftism, and the way you create leftism is by molesting children. Classes will be held at a local sex shop called Wink Wink. A Washington State School Board Director who owns a sex shop is making headlines after announcing she will teach sex education classes for children as young as 9 on topics such as sexual anatomy for pleasure and safer sex practices for all kinds of sexual activities. This is pedophilia. Okay, let's be real about it. Let's not beat around the bush. This is pedophilia. Also, Kissa for £5 says, did I hear Aiden mention heresy? Summon the Space Marines. Yeah, this is heresy. This is degeneracy. It's incomprehensible. The class for 9 to 12-year-olds is an introduction to topics related to relationships, puberty, bodies, and sexuality. We focus on what makes healthy versus unhealthy friendships and romantic relationships, the science of how puberty works, consent and personal boundaries, defining sex, and discussing why people may or may not choose to engage in sexual activities. Jen Mason, owner of sex shop Wink Wink in Bellingham and school board director of the Bellingham School District, called KTTH radio host Jason Rance. Mason announced there will be 4 3-hour sex education classes held at Wink Wink next month as part of an event billed the Uncringe Academy. Oh, it's very cringe. Oh, it's very cringe. It's more than cringe. It's pedophilic. The classes which Mason will teach are broken down by age, with 9 to 12-year-olds in one class and 13 to 17-year-olds in another class. Class topics include what is sex, kinds of solo and partnered sexual activities, sexual anatomy for pleasure and reproduction, gender and sexual identities, safer sex practices for all kinds of sexual activities, among others. The description of the classes stipulates that the workshops, quote, are divided by age and presentation of topics will vary for developmental appropriateness, which is spelled incorrectly, the word appropriateness. Wink Wink is described as a, quote, woman-owned, identity-inclusive sex shop that is, quote, sex-positive and body-positive and gender-affirming, while the Uncringe Academy is advertised as offering, quote, honest, supportive, and inclusive sex education classes to help young people of all genders and sexual identities understand this important part of life. Wink Wink did not respond to Fox. Of course he did not. So, great. This is what they're doing. 9 to 12-year-olds workshops at a sex store that I assume sells dildos and other such apparati. Spoon, you there? Oh, did he die? Oh no, I think Spoon died. Oh no. He might have gone away to get some coffee or something for a second. Spoon! Alright, well, we'll move on. I won't be able to bring this up because it'll be on his side. Oh, I can't bring that up then. I can bring that one up. So I'll have to do that. I will bring this up. I'll just read it for you while I go through this. So it's a very short article. There's a new poll that shows that record low 38% of people say that they are extremely proud to be Americans. As Florida County says, there's no reason to celebrate 4th of July because the United States is, quote, full of hate, and woke NPR breaks 33-year tradition of reading the Declaration of Independence on air. Gee, I wonder why. I wonder why. Oh god, I hope Spoon comes back soon so I can show him this fucking graph. Anywho, chat. While Spoon's away for a moment, the utensil is down. Message him. He probably went to go have a pee or get a drink. Oh, there you go. Hey, hello.
Go on.
Are you asleep or you alright?
No.
What's up?
You just said my name.
Hello. I've been talking about you for a minute.
No, you haven't.
Okay.
You said my name. I just went lamb right in. What the fuck?
Wake up.
Go on.
I need cigarettes that keep you up.
Yeah, I don't smoke that.
I got this Daily Mail article. Look at this graph, man.
38%.
I'm actually surprised it's that high. I'm surprised it's 38%. I would have thought it would be like 10, honestly. 38% of people are... This is in Florida, actually, yeah. Mm. So, in Florida, only 38% are very proud to be an American.
As NPR breaks 30-year tradition of reading Declaration of Independence. Yeah, I can imagine why they wouldn't want to celebrate anything. Because they don't like the fucking country.
Don't worry about going through this whole article. It's long as fuck. But it does have, I would suggest, I'll post it in the chat if you'd like to have some current ongoing information about the state of the US and like how people feel about things, because there's a lot of really good information in this article. I'll post it here in the chat. Check this out. It's got a lot of data and statistics that are cited in here. It's a very, very, like, you can see how massive of an article this is. It's a pretty hefty boy. So in other words, basically, Americans are all not proud to be Americans anymore. Now,
because the country sucks.
Why I wanted to wait for a moment is that I need you to put this on screen because I need to show you why Americans are not proud of being Americans anymore.
Oh God, a Newsweek article.
And now, it's just because of the videos on here. Which is video of Tiara Mack, Rhode Island state senator, twerking on TikTok goes
this is a
viral.
Senator?
Yes, this is a senator. There is a video, if you can bring it up. It's on the lower left-hand corner.
Senator.
It's a senator. Yeah, have you not seen this? It's in the article. When you bring it up, it should be in the lower right-hand corner. But see if you can bring it up.
Yeah, I just did, and I don't want to see that.
Yeah, it's grotesque.
Ignore the haters, you are righteous. Bitch, your fat ass isn't righteous at fucking all.
Shaking her ass and then says, vote Senator Mack. This is a Rhode Island senator.
I just
twerking
noted
on
your
TikTok.
re-election campaign. Dude, the fact that you saw someone's grotesque fucking ass in your first thing, because I want someone like that to represent me, means you're a failure of a human being. You fucking degenerate. Oh, God, it's just... Yeah, and I wonder why their race isn't as good as white people's. Yes, I just said that. I'm not taking it back. Fuck you.
Yeah, well, whatever. Insane. We have to watch it. We guess you play it, whatever. Sickening. And then another thing that happened, which if you could bring up this page on Twitter, this is Lauren Chen. This is the current state of stuff.
Oh God, yeah, I saw this.
This is a child drag queen show.
Which is not at all sadistic and fucking creepy.
Yeah, just let me know when you're ready to play it. It's sickening.
Oh God, why? Can I actually show this on YouTube?
Yeah, you can. Play it.
I have. It's just muted. Thank God.
Don't play the music though, because it'll get playing. Look, this poor little child. That it is a female stripper, I believe, but it's still a stripper. And what are they? The child's 4 or 5 years old.
These people belong in jail. Yeah.
They do belong in jail. It's sickening. And then, of course, like the comments on it, as if you scroll on the thread, Lauren says, "This is amazing. In it, baby was in awe. Love this."
Yeah.
This is why we don't like what you're doing. You're clearly trying to indoctrinate, and I'm going to say it outright, molest children, okay? That's why we don't like it, because it's sickening.
This is what happens under democracy.
There you go.
Yeah, would you see this shit in Russia? No.
Yeah, and again, no wonder nobody's proud to be an American anymore for this shit. I would say that.
Proud to be an American, or at least you know you're free to be a fucking degenerate hole.
Now,
every country.
I had some stuff on the Highland Park shooter, but it happened quite recently, and I think maybe we should just hold on to that till next week. Let's end with Jordan Peterson, shall we?
Professor Peterson.
Yeah, who was, of course, banned from Twitter.
Yeah, for saying that is a female, because that is a female.
Yes. So Jordan Peterson would, quote, rather die than delete his Elliot Page tweet. Jordan Peterson looks set to stay off Twitter for good, as he said he would rather die than delete a tweet about Elliot Page that got his account suspended.
Russia can never be secure while Europe can never be secure while Russia has nuclear weapons. They've had nuclear weapons for fucking 40 years, and
I
we
know.
didn't have any problems.
Oh, that was the whole Cold War thing. That was the whole reason for the Cold War, you know? Last week
has become the very thing with... Okay, look how fucking weird these articles. Look at the two articles on the right. Sorry, I'm being distracted. The two articles on the right say, NATO has become the very thing it was created to fight. Europe can never be secure while Russia is like the two fucking polar opposite articles.
Yeah, how curious, right?
Yeah, it's fucking funny as shit.
So, last week, those close to Peterson revealed that Twitter had suspended his account, and he could get it back within 12 hours if he deleted a tweet, which mentioned back when pride was a sin, and pride is a sin, by the way. It's one of the 7 deadly sins, and referenced the criminal physician who removed breath.
No, I'm sorry, I'm talking shit. Who do I keep spamming that sex chat in my fucking chat?
Oh, hang on.
Get lost, you degenerate sluts. Only
I don't know what it had. It's a smaller channel, so they think they can get away with it here. Nah.
Thanks.
So, Kids of Another 5 also said, just like Weimar Germany, this degeneracy was rampant. And what happened again, my subject, it didn't get better. He
makes a good point. There was a lot of fucking sexual degeneracy in Weimar Germany.
There was. There was
a lot. You know what there also was? There was a lot of drugs.
Mm-hmm.
You know what America has right now? A lot of drugs.
Sexual degeneracy. Oh, yeah. So, what was it I said that caused such a fuss? What exactly was it that I said that resulted in the ban? Peterson asked as he went on to dissect the original tweet regarding Page. The suspension will not be lifted, by the way, unless I delete the hateful tweet in question. I would rather die than do that, Peterson said. Peterson's daughter, Michaela, shared a screenshot of the original tweet and the message from Twitter that her father received. Again, just to be clear, his tweet was, "Remember when pride was a sin?" and Ellen Page just had her breast removed by a criminal physician. All of which is true. I believe.
Agreed.
In his response video, Peterson went through the Twitter's terms of service at length, picking apart where he supposedly violated the rules, which I don't believe he did.
Yeah,
He didn't personally attack anybody.
Yeah. But you can't misgender someone even though they misgender themselves.
Ellen Page is a public figure.
That's also a female.
It is clearly the case that I did not promote violence against or threaten anyone with my missive, which is what they accused him of. He said, so that leaves the arguably lesser sins of harass, let's assume, since I wasn't informed that was a crime, and further harassment on the basis of so-called gender identity, since Twitter did not do me the favor of actually specifying my crime. He vented his frustration on Twitter, demanding that they tell him exactly what rules he broke. What rules, you sons of bitches? Exactly, precisely, because such things... what rules, you sons of bitches? Exactly, precisely, because such things matter when the accusations start flying. He picked apart the first part of his statement, referencing a time when pride was a sin. I don't regard pride as a virtue. It has been classically regarded as a sin. I don't see that sexual orientation or sexual desire of any sort.
Remember when Disco was an Inception?
I know. I know. It is something to celebrate or take pride in. And so what I said was merely a fact. He conceded that this was probably not the reason he was banned from Twitter. He then acknowledges that he was guilty of appalling censorious crime of dead-naming Elliot Page, who came out as transgender in December of 2020 and was previously known as Ellen.
I like the way that they try to make it as a sexuality.
By the way, like, does Elliot Page get upset that there's millions of DVD copies of Inception that have his dead name on it?
No. Or because they still make royalties from it.
Obviously. How can I just... Okay, Peterson goes on to explain why he used the pronoun her rather than he or they to refer to Elliot. He suggested he needed to use Elliot's former pronouns to describe her mastectomy. How can I describe the fact that someone who was once a woman, and really still is, had her breast cut off because she, he, they, them, their, them, had fallen prey to a viciously harmful fad without using the appropriate sex-linked pronoun and the real name of the real person to whom this was really done with his, her, their, voluntary, but unfortunate acquiescence. He's correct, yeah. Peterson continued to describe his issues with the idea of transitioning genders and how impressionable it can be for young people who see public figures do this. Yeah, again, because remember, if you do this as a young person, as has been shown here, you are untouchable. You can just do whatever you want to other people. You can cause any kind of harm to them. You can destroy their life under the auspices of, well, they misgendered me. Well, they hurt my feelings and I'm trans and I'm going to kill myself. Also, Slavkai Nikki Vertu says, we've all seen Ellen topless. I'm still disappointed, yeah, with those leaks.
That's fucking wrong.
But that's the thing. Why do you think young people want to become trans? Not only because you're saying it's awesome,
it's trendy.
but because you're saying, not just because it's trendy and awesome, but because you're saying you are socially unquestionable. You have power over everybody else. Do you think people don't want to have power over others? Oh, I'll tell you who does. Crazy people.
Democrats.
Machiavellians. People who have personality disorders want to have power over others.
Yeah, let's give people experimental hormone therapy and then give them an uncountable amount of social power. That's never going to end fucking badly.
That's going to work out great. He also referred to the criminal physician who performed surgery on Page, removing their breasts, comparing the situation to fascist physicians who performed Nazi medical experiments. Yeah, essentially, because there's no evidence for any of this.
Yeah.
He invoked
what was the name of the angel of death? Joseph Mengele.
Oh, Mengele, yeah. He also invoked the duty of doctors to do no harm under the Hippocratic oath. I have brought this up over and over again. Every doctor who conducts one of these surgeries is violating their Hippocratic oath because there's no evidence to show its benefit. You are violating your duty to do no harm every single time. He also directed his anger at the woke moralists on Twitter, saying, quote, "I'm not taking down that tweet or acknowledging that my tweet violated the Twitter rules," he said. "Up yours, woke moralists. We'll see who cancels whom." It should be who cancels whom, but that's alright, Peterson. He concluded by saying, "Twitter's a rabbit hole in the final analysis, and I've probably contributed to it by while trying to understand and master that horrible, toxic platform. No doubt I owe some apologies for that, and I'm trying to learn, but it's a relief in some real sense to be banned, and I regarded it under the present conditions as a badge of honor." Peterson's video has been viewed millions of times across his social media channels, with thousands of people expressing their support. Elliot Page has yet to address the situation publicly.
They're probably not even aware of it.
Yeah, I mean, I was gonna watch the video that he posted, but it had his quote in there, so there's no real reason to. Anything else that was super important? Oh, yeah, this one was. Because, how dare Jordan Peterson call Elliot Page by his dead name. But, in fact, Dave Rubin was also suspended from Twitter for retweeting Jordan Peterson. A gay man was suspended from Twitter for just retweeting it.
Yeah. Conservative pundit. Dave Rubin is not a conservative. He's a militant fucking liberal.
Yeah, whatever you want to call him, you know. I wouldn't call him conservative either, but you know what I mean.
He gets a lot of shit, actually.
He does. He really gets shit on all the time.
It's because he has a kid.
Yeah.
With a gay guy, and people don't... You're not a conservative, and you rob a child of a mother.
I don't agree with that, by the way. With
yeah,
what he's,
neither do I. I don't think gay people should adopt children.
Yeah, I don't either.
There we go.
It's against the natural law, yes. And I'm sorry if that upsets some people, but like,
I don't give that upsets you. Fuck you.
Yeah. Fuck you. This fucking bot. Okay. Kissa. Okay. Kissa for 5 more pounds says, if Jordan Peterson has pride, his daughter wouldn't have married a commie Russian possessed by a demon. I won't make that mistake with my adorable niece. Yeah, good on you, and hopefully that does not happen to your niece, because let's hope so. I know that you will not allow it to happen.
What Russian?
She married some Rusky.
So?
Yeah, I don't know.
Have you seen the way the Russians behave now? They're more authoritarian than the fucking Americans.
Do you want to?
No.
That's the basic. We got the basic, TLDR. I don't want to go over the Highland Park shooting. It would take way too long. Do you want to cover Bodega Bro real quick before we head out?
We already know what happened there.
Yeah, well, it's the Bodega Bro thing is a pretty quick TLDR. Is a guy moved from the Midwest to New York. He is shocked at the fact that there's no grocery stores in New York, and then he was harassed by leftists who got him fired from his job because he didn't know there were no grocery stores in New York, and was called a racist for doing nothing. Also, Hasselhoppy for 5 says, I think Ellen Page is one of those tomboys brainwashed by the globalists. I agree, speaking as a tomboy myself. I think we'll end it there then for the most part, because I think we've gone over most of the... We'll touch more on the shooting next week, because there'll be more information out there. I have a bunch of information about it now, but we'll be able to find it. It will have taken more form. And by the way, if you're interested in information about gun crime, my video will be up tomorrow, I believe, unless there's some issue with my sponsor, which I do not believe there will be. So
they look like they've aged like 20 years at least.
Oh, Elliot Page,
yes.
Yeah. Looks like way older in the face.
The jawline is so unnatural looking, it just looks fucking weird.
Yeah. Is Bodega Bro Gringo Poppy?
It looks so weird
I don't think so.
Above the nose looks so much younger than below, which is really weird because it's usually the other way around.
Mm-hmm.
That's just... That person is not happy. I don't give a fuck what anyone says.
No, I think Elliot Page probably is very, very depressed. Particularly after cutting off his breasts. Am I allowed to say it that way, Susan? Anywho,
by the way,
Spoon.
if I'm looking at this shit, yeah, Elon and I had the same fucking face. If these guys get suspended for Twitter,
also, Speaking of ardent party, manlet, Elliot Page is like 5'2". You're not going to pass as a man in terms of that sense.
No.
That it's not going to work out. I'm 5'7". I couldn't pass, but Elliot Page is like 5 inches shorter than me.
Not unless you inhabit the Shire.
Right. And then Kizza for another £5. Thank you so much, Kizza. Says, question Spoon, would you be down for a stream talking about cars? If so, let's organize a date for it and embrace environmentalists' worst enemy. Would you be down for that, Spoon? I'm guessing probably English cars for the most part.
Yes.
From Kizza, knowing who Kizza is. So, yeah, well, let's try to work that out, Kizza. That would be fun.
Yes, vehicles. Yes, guzzling ones that destroy the environment because fuck
Absolutely.
Mother Earth.
Very based.
I think, Mother Earth, I just want to say this. Mother Earth, I think the vehicles that the people produce are less damaging to the environment than the people.
DP says Elon Page. The thing is, Elon actually kind of like seemed to have some kickback on Jordan Peterson for this. So
I hope he doesn't. I hope he just says like fucking no, you can say it fucking.
Oh, Gabler, I'm sorry. I'm not trying to be rude. It's like I'm sorry. I am taller, I think, than average for a woman, but only slightly. Do not be ashamed of being short. Just that. I think
ladies, you're adorably tiny.
I think that Elliot Page is like 5'2", which would be very difficult when you already are a biological woman and you're trying to pass as a man. It's not going to work great, probably.
The best height for a girl is like 5'2" to 5'5".
Oh, thanks a lot.
You're welcome. I'm saying that's just what I prefer.
I understand. You want the lady to be shorter than you, and generally speaking, that's
yes, but like I'm just shy of 6
and
foot.
As a
so I'm
lady,
not the shortest guy.
As a lady, you want the guy to be taller than you.
Yes, so if you hug him, you can press your face into his chest.
Bury your face in his chest. Exactly.
Yes.
That is peak comfort.
And then I can pat you on the head and go like, "No, he's tiny."
Exactly. It's fun.
That's typically speaking is like 5'3" If you're a girl, you're gonna be able to do that if you hug me. I'm just gonna look it down. You're like, "No, he's a tiny little thing."
Well,
patronizingly pat you on the head.
Bill's like just above 6 foot, so it works great for us. But
yeah, short girls are more fun. I agree.
It works perfectly for us in terms of the height differential. But yeah,
they're more difficult to kiss, though. I will say that.
If they're very short, yeah.
Yes.
Anywho,
Spoon just under the minimum height to exist. Oh, fuck off.
All of a sudden, Spoon's woken back up now that we're talking about women's height. Now he's awake. And cars. Women and cars, and he's awake again.
There's 3 ways to awaken me. That's not one of them, by the way. The main way to awaken me is sports.
I know. I'm well aware.
Someone just like Springboks. What? Where? Rugby? What? Who? That actually
CNN Sucks for 5 says, a decade ago, the moms and Doc would be arrested and convicted of child mutilation. Now they have a get out of jail free card. Absolutely.
Yeah, that's fucking. That's man. That's only a decade ago. That's fucked up.
I know. It's insane.
Like how our fucking countries have spiraled like depressingly in a single decade, which is insane.
And again, like I hate to admit that the 90s neocon conservatives were right, that they said it was a slippery slope, and it really was.
Yeah,
I hate to admit that they were right on that.
All the Christian conservatives are like, we fucking told you so, like 30 years ago.
Yeah, you did tell us so.
Yeah.
And Jernegi for 5 also says, if my lady ain't an Oompa Loompa, I ain't interested. Based.
I'm assuming you mean the height and not the skin color, because the Oompa Loompas were like fucking more orange than
I've got another blowjob for you. There you go. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're, at the right height.
No pun intended. Where the fuck did you hear that?
Just made it up.
Oh, okay. X was the Oompa Loompa, short, round, high-pitched voice. Oh, God. I typically speaking don't like the high-pitched voices. I don't know why. Like, they just irk the shit out of me.
Well, Dr. Drew says, and he does have good information on this because he's actually a practicing psychiatrist, is that women, if you meet a girl and she talks like this,
that's just the norm.
Dr. Drew says that in fact that whatever her high-pitched voice is, that's when she was molested as a child. And in fact, when he's talked to girls who have voices like this, he goes, so they pick up the phone on Loveline back in the day and they'd be, hi, Dr. Drew, I have a question about me and my boyfriend. And he would just go, so when were you molested?
You'd make a good VTuber.
and he would just go, "When were you molested?" They go, "Oh, Dr. Drew, I wasn't molested." And he goes on for like 10 minutes. He's like, "Actually, I was 7 years old." And it's like, "Oh, okay, well, there you go." Every fucking time on Loveline, every time it was actually I was molested when I was 4, when I was 5, or when I was 6. Every girl who talks like that, he calls it the little girl voice. Yeah. Kids for £5 says, speaking of cars, Spoon looked up Gordon Murray's company called GMA and look up the T50 3.9 V12.
That looks straight up like I'm going to bring the McLaren into the 21st century. Like, yeah,
the 650 HP, revving to 12k RPM and street legal.
Look at this thing. This thing looks like a fucking rocket. Look at this thing. This legitimately looks like it's gonna fucking take off.
Yeah, goddamn.
Yeah. If I could have sex with that car, I would, by the way.
And yeah, it is true.
Look at the fucking thing.
It was a bit of a meme on Loveline with the when were you molested thing. But he was always right.
That is a beautiful car, by the way. I like how the front looks very
he was always right about that.
The front looks very professional, and the back just looks like it's a different machine.
Whoa, look at that back. Holy shit.
Rugby's better than soccer any day. Yeah, of course. Yeah, that goes without saying. Yeah. Yeah, you have the VTuber voice, by the way, when you do the high pitch thing.
Yeah.
That is a mean looking machine. Like, seriously, like,
that's
fucking
awesome.
Hell. This would be probably one of my favorite looking cars, actually, because it has an interesting design, and you can tell it's definitely inspired by the McLaren.
It is a spaceship car, yeah.
Yeah, it does look like a different fucking beast of a machine.
No, JP, don't stick it in the turbine. That's a dangerous idea.
Yeah, this. I have about 3 cars that I grew up really liking. This was one of them. The McLaren F1.
It's a very cool car.
I also like I'm not a big fan of Ferraris, but I like the F40. And I like the Jaguar X220. And I'm trying to think what else one that I really like.
It's too bad. Like we can't even play freaking Top Gear memes on this channel because Top Gear is like the BBC's most prized protected property.
Yeah, of course
you can't play. I know because I've tried to upload videos where I put like a 5-second Top Gear meme in there. The BBC will claim all profits from the video, and they'll restrict it only to the UK. And it's like, what the fuck is this? Over a 5-second Top Gear meme, as in like as little as oh no, that sucks. Anyway, like or just oh no. Anyway, that will get claimed. The whole video. Oh no. Anyway.
Look at that. Hold on.
From Jeremy just saying that shit. Also, Slavka Nikki for 2 says Eden quote hitting peak on the T50 Top Cac.
Yes, the Lamborghini Diablo SV.
I would be really scared.
That is a beast of a machine. I remember.
I'd be so afraid. I love driving. I love driving, but I'd be terrified to drive any of these cars.
I was told
this is a.
I was told this is a very aggressive car.
Mm-hmm.
The Diablo, specifically, it was described as a bad boy.
Now the Robin Reliant, on the other hand, I'll drive that.
Yeah, but the McLaren F1 is known for being very, very friendly to drivers of inexperience.
Yeah, it's a fantastic
fucking
car
thing.
We have a nice car. We just bought a car last year, so I'm happy with what we got. It's a I can't even fucking remember. It's a Fiat overhaul essentially. It's a Fiat with a sports car engine in it. I don't know why they did that, but that's what we got. Also, Kizza for £5 says Spoon, look up the Lamborghini Sesto Elemento. Thanks, Kizza. But yeah, we got a. It's a Fiat with a sports car engine in it, so it has a sports mode. I don't know.
No, this is too much.
Hmm?
It's okay. The matte painting. The one that kids are talking about. It's not bad, but it's very.
It's very 90s. I like it.
It looks like they're trying to do the Batmobile.
Yeah, it's very 90s. I like it.
It's not a bad design.
It does look like the Batmobile. I like it.
It does look like the Batmobile. I don't like the color, though.
Dude, it's dope. Well, you can get another color.
No, I don't like the matte. I don't like the matte look at this stealthy look.
Then get it in reflective metallic.
Okay, calm down.
They can give you a paint job for it. Oh, dude, I think that's a dope looking car. Holy shit.
I like that one, though.
I like that a
Like
lot.
the black with the blue. Like I like that. That looks
That
pretty
is,
cool.
I don't even care about the colors. The whole design of the car is
It's
awesome.
very space age looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, I maybe it's because I'm getting old.
York says equals dead. Yeah, maybe on that one with the down-headed turn in the front.
I tend to like some of the more like old American muscles or the old like the DB5, like you see in like the old James Bond movies. I like that. Well, I like the new Aston Martin as well. But
speaking of James Bond, before we head out, is there any plan this week? Because are you gonna play a James Bond movie on the server or anything?
Ford Probe. Let me see.
Real quick before we head out, I do believe, as I said, that my video will be out tomorrow. It will be on gun ownership in the United States. Who owns guns? Why? And what is the effect of shootings, of mass shootings on
that's
gun
a card
ownership?
you can deck out.
In addition to that, I think that's a dope looking car. In addition to that, let's see. We usually do, not every weekend, but usually we do a movie night on Saturdays in the Discord. If you are not a member of the Discord, it is linked down below in the description. If you have not yet joined the Discord, I think probably everybody here has, but if you are new and have not joined it, then go ahead and check it out. Anywho, Spoon, are you cool to head out for the evening? We've reached midnight.
I'm just looking at cars right now.
I know. So thank you guys so much for watching, and we will see you all next week. Oh, real quick, if you'd like to watch also the D&D game, it will be on Tuesdays. We will probably watch a movie on Saturday together.
Hold on, someone's asking me to look up a car quick. Hold on.
All right, we're gonna do this real quick.
Tommaso Pantera.
Gotta film
why does this car look very familiar to me?
We love it, based on a true story. That sounds really cool. Also, I have now I'm not sponsored, but I would love to be sponsored. But I really like the service Shudder. It's a horror movie platform for streaming. It's the only streaming platform I actually recommend anymore. So I might. There's some new stuff that's appeared on Shudder that we could also watch that I don't mind streaming based on, because I have a Shudder profile, and I would really like to work with Shudder to get them to sponsor the channel, either this channel or probably my channel, my main channel. Because I tried to even like coerce is not the right word, to convince them like that I was persuade them that I was a good channel, because I talk about horror like once a year on Halloween time, and I talk about all the data on horror. But anyway, Galactic Emperor Slurm says looks like a gaming mouse. It does look a bit, yeah. It does look like a gaming mouse a little bit.
What's the XJ220?
Did you find the car?
Yeah, this was the car that I liked as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Because it just looks so freaking pretty. Why is this over 100,000 Rand? Why is this?
Did you what's the other car?
Which
that you
one?
asked to look up? Weren't you asked to look up one?
I just
the Lamborghini Sesto Elemento.
That's the one I looked up earlier that you said you liked.
Oh, okay. Oh, that was it. Okay.
Why is this not? Yeah, there we go.
It's pretty nice.
Yeah.
Oh, the Jaguars too.
Yeah, this was a car in the 90s. You can tell the wheelbase that it's a 90s fucking car, because the design is unusually stealthy looking.
Anywho, everyone's headed out. We should head out as well.
But
thank you all so much. Thank you all so much for joining us. Have a wonderful week, and take care, guys.
Yeah,
night.